Way, and Martin is nowhere to be seen. Yes. Lights, camera, action. Oh, lights are too bright there. Green screen going mad behind me. How's everybody, guys? Welcome along. It is Monday, guys, 14th of February. So it is, yes, a Valentines Day Special. So much love and greetings going out to everybody today on today's show. Oh yeah, dropping frames here apparently. Oops. I was actually working on another intro, which is actually processing in the background, fucking eating into my CPU at the moment. But it never got rendered. The rendering never got finished on time, so unfortunately we had to go live without it. And I was really hoping to bring this one to you and all, but next day, next day. So we got the grinder here. We're gonna pop an old nugget into it. We grind something up and we blaze one up, and we get stuck into some of the news that we have here today. Then as well, we have a couple of headlines from around the world. A couple of coming out of Ireland. We have we're gonna take a little trip as well down memory lane. We're gonna revisit some romantic moments that happened here on the show. We've got a one or two romantic moments on the show. There's probably one very, very memorable one that you might all remember from last year. We have a little clip that will be coming up later on, so get your guesses in as to what that clip might be. What was the most romantic thing that you've seen happen here on Martin's World? I'm sure you're all thinking of one incident that unfolded. Oh yes. Oh, funny you could smell this. Like, it's absolutely delicious. Hey, John Phantom, what's happening over there in sunny old Florida? Always good to see you popping into the old hot box there. And John Phantom says it's time for a dab. So yes, John Phantom's doing a bit of hot boxing in the hot box. Good to hear, John. I will be joining you here now shortly. I didn't bother. I haven't got the volcano out in this studio today, so I am back on the bong. But we made it through the month of January. We went through all of January without engaging in too much combustion. I'm not going to lie, I did hit the bong kind of like a few times throughout the month of January. Only when I was blazing up some keef and some hash that I was gifted. So there was combustion needed for in those times. See Temple Growers out in the audience as well. What's happening, TG? TG, you'll be pleased to know that today's offering is some of the crystalline entity. And the crystalline entity actually that I've been gifted here has a beautiful colour to it. Like, in fairness, the camera is going to do no justice here because of the green screen. Oh, give me 1 second now. We get this up. Do you know what? We might actually just flick off the green screen for the crack. Just for the second. If I think I can go to my video. No, that's not working, and you can't hear me when I'm over in that scene. Video mic. Let's see. Filters. Edit filters. Chroma key. Hide. No. Not working. I see one person's after getting a correct guess there anyway, Mr. Finnegan. Boom, there we go. Yes, TG. This is just for you, boy, to turn off the green screen just for this. Hide my face. Come on, stop detecting my face and focus on this. Like the fucking general, Martin Callanan, hiding his face here just so the camera would focus in on me nug. But you see some of the purple. Damn you. There we go. We switch it to manual focus. This is Yes, now you see some of that glorious, glorious goodness. Some lovely colours in that nug. I don't know if you can see the purple there just around it. There's lots of lovely little purple flakes through it. Lots of green in there, like, but you can certainly see, like, definitely down at that bottom corner there, a bit of purple as well. Oh, boom. Put back on the manual focus or the auto focus there now because I had to be wrecked otherwise. I just turned back on my green screen as well, guys. Boom. So apologies for that little bouncing around. Just really wanted to show off the nuggets. I'm kind of flashing it here now, and it's not so bad, but yeah, you can kind of still see it. John Finnegan says, ruining the illusion, Martin. Sorry, guys. Sorry. My apologies. Come on, like, it's not too hard. Like, you see where the mic gets cut off here, like. Yep. He's going off screen. Yes. Sorry, John. Should really try to keep the illusion alive a bit more for the believers out there. So a quick shout out to everybody in the audience. Lots of comments coming through, guys. Lots of you out there already, so thanks very much for all your comments. DB Woodcraft out there, John Finnegan, Barry Fields, Daily Talker. What's happening? Daily Talker saying happy 422 to those who are able to smoke at the moment. Sean M. Duggan out there, Pods 4420, Daniel Crowley in the audience as well. Toto, what's happening, Toto? Adam O'Brien out there as well. Adam saying alcohol is a class A drug in my view. Yeah, wouldn't say that you're too wrong on that. What else is out there? Dandy Koi. Sorry, for some reason that your name is blue here, and it's actually really hard to see on my screen. Better turn up my brightness, maybe. There we go. 75% bright. Happy days. Tinkle Tink. What's happening? John Phantom, we say good morning to you over in Florida already. Temple Grower is up there in Canada. What time of the day is it in Canada at all? I'd imagine it's probably bright and early over there too. Rain and Rocks is out in the audience as well. Gromance is in the air. Yes, indeed it is. John Phantom says time for a dab. Teresa O'Connell, only got a notification now. God damn you, Facebook. Delaying my notifications going out there to my loyal listeners or viewers. Others in the audience as well. Teresa O'Connell, stupid Facebook. Hi Monday, folks. Hunter K is out in the audience as well. What's happening, Hunter? Green Tea dropping into the hot box. What's happening, Green Tea? Always a pleasure to see you out there in the hot box. Others in the hot box. We've John Figan says, I wonder could it be Monsieur Fudge and Claude Devlin at the picnic in Cork you were referring to, Martin? I think I already alluded to the fact that John might be correct in that one. Tinkle Tink says, are you a Volcano fan? No, Martin. I've always been a Volcano fan, in fairness, but the convenience of bong hits was always just a bit of a hindrance to using the Volcano a bit more. But I would be more Volcano use would be more preferential to me, actually. I was trying to think of how to word that there. Jeez, bit of a brain fart. But yeah, Volcanoes would definitely be my thing of choice. But when a bong is there, it's just so convenient. You know, you just pick that thing up, you pick up your lighter and blast off. Where is me lighter? You see, that could be a problem then when you don't find your lighter. Stoner problems. It's always in the last pocket you check, isn't it? See, somebody's looking for the laptop there, Hunter. I think they got the wrong Hunter though, don't they? Irish Cannabis Party out in the audience as well, or Ireland's Cannabis Party. What's happening? Saying hi, Martin. Greetings from Kilkee. Hopefully the sun is shining above there in Kilkee today, John. Others out there in the audience, I think I've said hi to everybody. See lots of repeating names there. Temple Grower saying, I'm doing a biggish run of them now to get into some F2s. Very nice. I will say I've seen the crystalline entity go from start to finish there with the body, and amazing plants all around, very vigorous growth in the ones that we seen there. There was two distinctive phenotypes that came through out of four plants that my buddy flowered, and all of them though came in with lovely dense nugs. So a real treat to watch that one grow. Temple Grower says they usually get real purple if you let them though. Yeah, this one now is it was very close, to going completely purple. I'd say, the orange amber hairs, the trichomes and stuff like that. When we were looking at it, yeah, they were getting nice and amber. Right, let's blaze this one up as I'll keep reading your comments otherwise. Oh, Temple Grower says it's 10:30 a.m. over there. Yes. Yum, yum, yum. um, John Phantom says True Leaf Dispensary has a member berry that stinks of berries even more than the old berry strain I've had before. Man, I really wish we had the opportunity just to walk into a dispensary and have a selection of flowers there with a variety of aromas and offer, and a variety of different terpenes there as well, with the different effects those terpenes would offer with the strain. Oh man, I see some of that stuff there from Foxworthy Farms, and it's really cool that you get a packet that you can scan a little QR code and you get some free music with it. But what's even cooler is Foxworthy Farms now are delivering the terpene profiles of the cannabis that you're consuming. So that's incredibly important for a consumer to know, because a lot of the times the repeatability of the effects is dependent upon the consistency of that terpene profile. So to be able to get that information when consuming cannabis, it's fucking invaluable, really, isn't it? So I don't know, do True Leaf Dispensary offer that kind of information there upon the terpene profile of some of the cannabis on offer? But Foxworthy Farms over there in Sonoma Valley they're offering that at the moment. Spoiled is what they are over there. See Fwetch in the audience. What's happening, Fwetch? Solid Minds Digital as well out there. What's happening? Apologies there as well, the Solid Minds on Friday. I made a promise there to my daughter to bring her swimming, and then we were up swimming and I was like, bollocks, shit, the Patients for Safe Access call was going ahead. I'd completely just went to the back of my mind. I had a shitty old week there, so I wanted to get my daughter out to do a bit of swimming and just take her mind off things. So apologies there on Friday, my bad. Fwetch out there as well. Hey Martin, at Martin's World. Good to see you, brother. I hope this week is the start of better things to come for yourself and us as a community. Stay strong, brother. Yes, well, I will definitely, there's no what, touch wood, that I'm not jinxing myself, but I don't think weeks could get much worse than last week for myself. But as I say, don't want to jinx myself touching fucking a wooden desk here. Let's hope it's real wood. Not into all that superstitious stuff, but at the same time, don't want to tempt fucking fate. But yeah, last week was quite a rough one. And not even with the guards, it's like other shit that goes on in your life that you have to deal with outside of the prohibition of cannabis, the prohibition of cannabis just is the straw that breaks the camel's back then a lot of the times. It's quite unnecessary to be carrying that burden through our lives. Like, there's enough shit to deal with in life without fucking some and do-gooder to try to come and tell you how to live your life, that they know better than you. And it's just like, come here, you couldn't be any more wrong when it comes to cannabis, in fairness. But look, Green tea, great to get to tune in, Martin. I keep missing the live streams, listening while getting ready to go out. Ooh, out. You going out? Very nice green tea. Have a lovely evening, you and your pals or whoever it is that you're going out with. Let's hope it's a nice festival evening, lots of green festive herbs. If you're going to have a drink or two as well, drink sensibly and all that. Hopefully you don't be waking up with too much of an old messy head in the morning. I know I'm a lightweight when it comes to the drink anyway, so one cider would be enough for me, or maybe a glass of wine as well. I'm very fancy like that. Canaman 83, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Much love from the Canaman. Much love back at you, Canaman. Daily Talker says, much love right back at you, Canaman, as well. Soul Rebel out there says, hi buds, what's happening, Soul Rebel? Welcome to the Hot Box. Dave, what's happening, Dave? Welcome to the Hot Box. Story lads, Dave says. And B Mooney says, lost smell and taste with the Rona. No, that's the worst thing ever. Well, it's not the worst thing. It's just a figure of speech, isn't it? But it's terrible when that happens. A buddy of mine, two buddies of mine, actually lost their smell and taste because of the old dreaded Rona. It's outside of death, that's probably the next worst side effect of the Rona. Is the loss of smell and taste. The buddies, they couldn't smell their weed for, I think it was about 4 or 5 months, maybe more. I'm not too sure where they're at now, like even at the moment. I'd say they're still not fully back, but somewhere, like it was a slow, gradual return of those senses after contracting that virus. But like, it was funny, like sitting down with the lads having a smoke, and they were like, can't smoke that, smell that at all. And you're like, man, that smells unreal. And you can't smell it. What a heartbreaker. So yeah, definitely for us cannabis consumers, like that side effect of catching the Rona and losing your smell and taste, it's a real kick in the nuts. John Phantom says, no, they aren't required to do terpenes in Florida. You do have to pay $450 a year for the doctor to approve you. I know Pennsylvania requires terpene profiles, not sure about other states. Well, I definitely, look, coming at it from the herbal science perspective myself anyway, I definitely do think there is a reason to have terpene profiles there, especially for medical patients. I think having that information provided at the point of purchase is just as important as THC, CBD, and whatever other cannabinoid content. I think getting as much information about your cannabis as possible is of the utmost importance to patients and consumers alike. But like that, yeah, I suppose there is a gradual learning curve that we're on here. Yes, but sending back hugs back to you, green tea. We'll even pack up an old bowl there for you, green tea. We'll send an old bowl your way. Clear one out. It's Monday, Valentines Day and all that, like, so we gotta send love out there to all the audience, guys. What better love is there than clouds? So send clouds out there to all of you. Hopefully you're in a position to be sending them back this way too. Oh. No, John Phantom's dabbing. Nope. Not that kind of dab though. That's the only kind of dab I can do here at the moment. Wouldn't mind having a press, actually. Imagine being able to just go down the road. If we were lucky enough here to have like some sort of a social lounge, an area where cannabis consumers can come together, and there might be a communal dab press down there then, where you can bring down your locally grown cannabis and I don't know, pay a small nominal fee to use the dab press for a couple of minutes and press the goodness out of this, so you could have your own homemade dabs then. It'd be savage, wouldn't it? It'd be class. That's on the list for the old the co-op or the social lounge once it gets up and running. And it's going to happen. Shout out to Gary Hughes, who's fucking making it happen over there in Liverpool right now. I think right now at this moment, Gary Hughes and company over there at the chilling rooms are probably getting ready to welcome another bunch of guests for this evening's activities over there. We'll pop them up on screen there actually for a second. I seen some people over there. I think Simpa has been at the chilling rooms there recently. So if anybody's lucky enough to be over there in Liverpool, whoops, we get them up there now. Boom. So this is the chilling rooms. So this is a cannabis consumption lounge. Look, you can see a little tablet that the guys have here on the table in front of them. I'm not too sure what they're actually working at. Maybe they're doing a little project, or are they actually putting in an order for cannabis? I'm not too sure, but it looks really freaking cool. They have comedians taking part there. They've got live musicians as well, live bands coming in and performing. So a really class gaff. I really hope I can open the doors to something like this. Again, don't even want to be providing cannabis to people, just want to be providing a safe space where people can come, bring their own cannabis, consume it, and socialize with like-minded people, but also be entertained by entertainers who will cater to this crowd. There's a certain culture that comes with cannabis consumption, and there's a certain type of music, there's comedy that goes with it. It's all sorts of stuff that you could be putting on here in terms of entertainment and opportunities for socialising for the community. So Gary Udes, dude, tip my hat there to you that I'm not wearing the proverbial tip of the hat there today. Absolute legend, man, for what you've achieved over there, and I really hope I can bring something like this to Cork someday soon. A safe space where people can come, bring their own cannabis, consume it, meet like-minded people, socialise, strengthen the community, strengthen the bonds that are there, and really, really just help this community to be what it's truly meant to be, which is a strong, tight-knit community of people who should look out for one another than what it currently is, which is a community of people who keep their heads hidden. We're all in the closet, we're all afraid of one another. Let's change that, guys. Let's stop being afraid of one another, and let's get out of the cannabis closet. And who knows, it might be a chilling rooms in Cork someday very soon. I know Gary is not too bothered about the sharing of the name chilling rooms. So who knows, let's see. Again, shout out to any fucking property owners out there who might have a property available that they wouldn't mind allowing be used for such a venture. Get in touch, martinsworldpodcast@gmail.com. But it's sorely needed, guys. It's sorely needed. So let's blaze one up to that. So shout out to any landlord out around Cork City, or anybody who might know a landlord around Cork City who has got a decent enough space. You see the space there that was in the chilling rooms, like that's not a massive space at all. It's nice enough, 2 rows of tables by the looks of it inside of there. 2 nice long tables. People either side of it. You got the band area at the top. Perfect. A few little ventilators down along it. Happy bloody days. So it's just an idea as to what we're looking for. Class old spot though, in fairness. Anybody know of any spots like this around the place that are just lying idle? You can give me a shout. We got a small kitty of funds that have come in through to the show over the last 2 years now that we're doing it. Almost 2 years now. The show will be 2 years old actually come May this year, I think it is. But yeah, over the last 2 years, we've gotten a number of donations coming in from people. But the most part of it is stored in Bitcoin at the moment. So again, if we find an ideal location, we'll cash that stuff out, and we'll invest in a future for the community. And again, if anybody wants to donate by Bitcoin and stuff like that, there are links up on martinsworld.ie. I'll pop them up on screen there now so you can see them. But there we go. Yes, donate with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency. So you can click this link. If you click that link, it brings you to an OpenNode payment amount. You just jot in the amount there, change the different currencies, whatever it is. Nice and handy. Provided by OpenNode. So that's a handy old service. Otherwise, you can also donate. I believe there's Engine. I think that's Engine. Is that the other coin? And Ethereum. I'll get other wallets up there as well at some stage, but these are ones that were just easiest to put up there right now. But all of those donations through crypto coins, through cryptocurrency, will be used for operating that social hub, social club that we talk about there. So if you want to see something like that happen, and if you got some change from your last darknet purchase, then you know where to send it, guys. It will be put to good use. Absolute legend, must always. And I have 420 there to helping find a home for Martin's World. Yes, that'll be class. And not just Martin's World. I'm sure there's other creators out there, other artists, other performers, who would also find a home through this social hub. So it will come up with a nice room name for it. I think Chilling Rooms is quite perfect. It's very non-threatening. You know, it is pretty much it encapsulates what the vibe of the environment will be. It'll be a Chilling Rooms. You know, it'll be a place we can come and chill, be safe. I think it ticks a lot of boxes, in fairness. Like, so who knows? I know when Gary Hughes was on for the interview there about a good number of months ago now, 6 to 8 months ago, I'd say, when I had Gary Hughes on. But he was like, man, bring Chilling Rooms to Cork. Yes, do it, Martin. So who knows, Gary? We might honour that dream sometime soon. Green Tea says, I'm driving now, so no booze, got a new car, we'll send you a video. Nice one, Green Tea. I hope that means that all of those other issues you were talking about there have all kind of worked themselves out now since, and I hope everything is doing much better. And as I said, have an amazing evening out and drive safe, you know, well wear with the new car as well. Isn't that what they say? Well wear. So yes, I hope that all goes excellent for yourself, and as I say, have a fabulous evening. Scannis says, hey folks, I'm late. Tricked by my laptop, tricked by the laptop clock, which shows it's 3:38. What's going on, Scannis? What are you feeding your laptop? John Phantom, 5,000 milligrams, 50 gummies, 100 milligrams a piece. Nice, John Phantom. That's $65 for that. That's happy days. You know, I think it's for 500 milligrams over here in Ireland, okay? So for a small little packet of, you know, these, I'll get them up on screen there, but what would they call them? Edibles Cork, let's say. I just see what news we get there on that. Images. There we go. These things. So the nerds, the Stony Patch, I'll pop them up on screen so you see what I'm talking about. These things, they got 500 milligrams in them, and they're fetching about, is it about €30, €35 for a packet of those over here in Ireland at the moment. So you're getting 5,000 milligrams for $65. $65 is about €660. So do the math, and that like there's a nice bump up in the price there, you know, just because of the prohibition. Like, what is a 500 milligram pack of edibles over in the US? Like, is that any cheaper? I'm not too sure. Surely that's only about like $10 or something. If 5,000 milligrams is $65, then surely like 500 milligrams is about like $10 to $15. Get it over here to Ireland and you bump up that then to like $50, $40, $50. Mad. But nice one for that there, John Phantom. It's always good to hear, you know, some of the situations in other places of the world, compare the prices, what a regulated market is and what a prohibited market is. It is like. Temple Grower says, here in Canada there has been a huge push for better labelling on the products. Terpenes at the forefront, most decent brand to include a breakdown of the dominant terps and a cannabinoid profile. There you go. It's all about informing consumers, and I think once consumers are informed about the products that they're consuming, they can make better choices around the consumption. Do you know, you'll be wondering, it's like, oh well, I always get this 20% THC, and it's just like, but why is this 20% THC knocking me on my ass, and this 20% THC is not? And it's because of the terpene profile. A lot of the times the effect is more dictated by the terpene profile rather than the cannabinoid profile. It's very interesting. We still have a lot to learn there on cannabis consumption, but you know, until we cut out of this era of prohibition, we do have a long way to go. John Finnegan saying, burn an orange and peel it close to your face, guaranteed to get your sense of smell back. Old Jamaican remedy. Nice. I didn't know that at all, John. Green tea saying here, plenty of herbs will be consumed tonight, Martin. Don't you worry. Excellent. That's my kind of night out, in fairness. Like, why can't we have nights out like that? That just annoys me. That as cannabis consumers, like, you're forced to go socialise at each other's houses. Me and the lads would have like our smoke or poke but like we've no venues in the city that we can go and be safe and safely consume our cannabis. You're always fearful that if you bring a few pre-rolls with you, that you might be stinking of cannabis. That you won't get into whatever venue it is that you're going to. It's just really annoying. I know there is other venues that it's completely fine and stuff like that. I know there's a few pubs around the city that it's just kind of like, oh yeah, that place isn't too bad. Just don't be too in their face about it. You kind of get that kind of a thing, but there's other places then, and it's just like a complete no-go. But like with some of the stuff that I be smoking, there's like no hiding it. Like this crystalline entity, like this is pungent, in fairness, like, but it's in a good way pungent. But I don't know, like green tea. Other people out there, have you got kind of venues in your in your locale, where that they'll turn a blind eye to cannabis consumption as long as you're the majority of you're probably consuming alcohol. I know there's a few places like that up around the city anyway, that's for sure. Boom. Hey, what's happening, Charlene? I see Charlene out there as well in the audience. Get the hair straighteners and the clamp out. Just stay away from your old doll's GHDs, guys, okay? If your old doll has a GHD hair straightener, just know that those things are expensive, and you don't want to be trying to like put a lot of heavy pressure on the bloody things to squish a bit of rosin, an old dab out of your cannabis. If you're going to do it with a hair straightener, just make sure it's your own hair straightener. Because like hair straighteners have been known to break, and sometimes that could actually break relationships as a result. So there you go, guys. Just be forewarned. Don't be using your old doll's hair straighteners, okay, guys? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, and it is an easy method to make some homemade dabs. Make sure you keep your cannabis as well afterwards, guys, because while there is a very easy method to make some rosin for dabbing, the cannabis that's left over afterwards, it still retains a lot of the goodness because it's not a very efficient method of extraction, because there's only so much pressure you can actually get with your body weight. So there's a lot of goodness left over in the flowers. So keep those for like some infusions afterwards. Get some coconut oil, stick that thing into a slow cooker with a couple of your little pucks, then the squished cannabis flower, and you'll make yourself some nice edibles there, some nice drops, whatever it is. If you want to keep the coconut oil in a liquid form, squirt it into some capsules. You got some easy to consume capsules, can of caps on the go. But also, I suppose if you wanted to, you could decarb the pucks a bit more, because it's not fully decarboxylated, but some would say there's no need to, because you're still going to get a lot of the health benefits even if it's not decarboxylated, but you won't get as high. That's the only thing. Guys, I'm an awful waffler. We're 35 minutes in. I haven't given you much news at all, have I? Shooting the breeze, packing bowls. I'm the bands. It's always good to catch up with the audience. You're all a bunch of legends out there, guys. It's good to have you on a lot of regulars and even the new faces too. It's always a pleasure to see a new face out there and a new name in the audience. John Phantom says 1 gram for shatter rosin, $60. A True Leaf dark market is $15 for decent stuff, $20 for real good stuff. So is that the difference? Yeah, $60 in a regulated market and $20 on the black market then over there. That's a big difference, all right, in fairness. But what I suppose if you're getting it from the regulated market, what's the story? Can you claim that off your health insurance and stuff yet? No. Canman 83, a community of criminals right now is what we are. No, we're not. We are not criminals. That's the chant, guys. That's the motto. We are not criminals. On paper, yes, I suppose they do label us criminals. Technically, we are criminals as we are breaking the law, but really, like, what? You look up the definition of a criminal. Like, what is the definition of a criminal? I wonder what it is. Like, what's it say? Like, it's like, okay, a person who has committed a crime, and it's like these men are dangerous criminals. But okay, committed a crime, but what's a crime then? Like, so such crime, an unlawful act, unlawful. It's like unlawful, like that's horrible, like, you know. It's mad, like, so like a crime is something that is it's an unlawful act. But like, why are laws? Like, why do we have laws? Why do we have laws? Laws protect our general safety and ensure our rights as citizens against abuses by other people, by organisations, and by the government itself. We have laws to help provide for our general safety. It's like, does that really tick the boxes when it comes to cannabis prohibition? I know this is just some random response there that I'm getting on Google and whatever, like, but you know, in fairness, like, come on, like, there is no reason to have a prohibition of cannabis. There's no justifying it. I don't know if there's somebody out there who thinks they can justify it. Like, I'd love to hear from them. Like, even old Bobby and Mary and all of the rest of the old prohibitionists, that none of them will actually come out and properly debate this issue at all, will they? No, they never really will. Like, but yeah. Hey, Magnetic Maggie. What's going on, Magnetic Maggie? Welcome to the show. I love the name, actually. Magnetic Maggie, Flutes and Roots. Yes. Pods for 420 says 80% of nightclubs have closed in Ireland since 2000. And after this pandemic, 60 or 70% of pubs will probably never open again, so there's endless space in this country for smokers club. Massive room for it, like, you know. We just have to act, and you know, we've been asking for permission for so long now. I think it's high time that we just go and do it, and feck it. Like, we can ask for forgiveness afterwards, you know, take whatever slaps on the wrist that they want to give us, you know, but stand by our convictions. What we're doing is not wrong. It's a right, actually. It's more right to do it, because this law is unjust. Dave says, to be honest, I don't want to go to the pub to get stoned. I'll get stoned where I want. Yeah, I'm kind of the same there as well, Dave. I you know, at family functions, stuff like that, you know, they're often gathering at pubs, and I hate it, like, the hypocrisy, like, because it's like I go out the back and I might spark up and I'll doob, and the gaff will be stonked out, but I can't help it, like, you know, I go out the back now and I'm thinking, and it's just like, oh yeah, Martin's doing that now again out there, like, oh jeez. You do get these kind of people that are still around there, like, but feck them, like, haters gonna hate, like, aren't they? Tinkle Tink says, is dosage tricky with edibles? It can be when you're making them yourself, because you don't know what you're working with. So you don't know how effective your extraction method was either then as well afterwards. Like, so you don't know if your cannabis is 20, 10 or 10% THC. You know, you don't know what level of cannabinoid you're working with there. So you could have issues with dosage. But if you're getting it from a regulated market, then no, it should be a lot more reliable. Temple grower. Want to bring some to Canada too? What are we bringing to Canada? Daily Talker saying here that the best way I see this legalization thing happening is if we all stand proud together, openly questioning and disobeying these foolish laws. Daily Talker, man, you're singing from my hymn sheet, dude. That's the song I want us all to be singing. You know, it's just all standing loud and proud, all breaking this law openly, defiantly. Just to go revisit it. And I should do a small little 5 minute video just specifically on this. But what happened with myself with the plants, all right? The cops, I wasted so much of their time, and I'm not really proud of that. But what I want to do is I want to draw attention to what I did. I wasted a pile of their time. There's a number of guards now dedicated, like they were doing an investigation on me since last year, since I done these plantings. They came and arrested. I actually handed myself into the Garda station. They formally arrested me down at the Cork Bridewell Garda station. Or was it Wednesday last week? And like there was 3 guards in a guard's car out looking for me. They were driving around looking for me. So they were wasting their time for a number of months doing an investigation. I would love to put in a freedom of information to find out how many man hours actually went into the investigation. They had to send the samples, the plants off the Forensic Science Ireland, and they had to be analysed. They were confirmed to be the genus Cannabis, and they all got sent back again. Like, it's serious man hours gone into this, you know. The file then had to go to the file has to go to the DPP now. That's the stage we're at now, and we're going to see what happens. But what happens if we done that en masse? Like, what if that wasn't just one person that had to get those 6 charges? What if that was 100 of us? What if that was 1,000 of us? Like, because that 3 hours now, that becomes 30 hours or 3,000 hours, or whatever the number of people is, you multiply the hours by that. Because for me, like, they actually wasted more than 3 hours. It was 3 hours when I handed myself in and got arrested, because they had to prepare the interview room and to get ready for that, and to go through the process there. That's a waste of time. Guys, look at the shit that's going on here in Cork City at the moment. Like, Cork, it's siblings. It's sickening what happened here in Cork. Like, this is news here in Cork at the moment. But the same people who were out looking at me, looking for me, doing the investigation into me, they're the same people who are supposed to be deterring this kind of crime out there in our city. And there's not much of a deterrence there at the moment, because the guards are wasting their time on petty drug users, on petty drug dealers. I'll even go as far as saying, because I think all prohibition of drugs is a complete waste of the guards' time. They have no business investigating people's drug use. Again, look, if a person is selling something illegally, they're operating outside of the regulated environment, then maybe that's something for the revenue to be investigating. But for the guards should be focusing on this kind of crap, capturing these kind of criminals. Because for any amount of time is spent on people like me, it's time not being spent on people who commit these kind of crimes. An elderly brother and sister there who were robbed at knife point here in Cork. There's currently a GoFundMe actually for this couple this brother and sister going at the moment. I'll get it back up there now. I get the GoFundMe. But horrible stuff, like, that the same Gardaí who are after me are supposed to be involved in this kind of crimes. Like, in fairness, like, just take all of the cops that we currently have in the drug squad, in the drugs units, and all of that stuff, and put them into an antisocial behaviour unit. Have them out there doing patrols on our streets to be making sure that there's no little scuts going around the place, you know. People who be known to them, who be involved in types of crimes such as burglary, in where weapons are involved, you know. Because if there's more guards available actively patrolling, and if these people, you know, are possibly known to the guards, then they've more chance of intercepting them, rather than, oh look, there's Martin got caught with a joint there, Martin's planting plants around Cork City, let's search Martin's pockets there. Meanwhile, those guards are searching Martin's pockets and they're not fucking catching whatever type of sick individual goes and commits a crime like this, robbing two old people at knife point. Horrible, like, absolutely horrible, like. No, I don't want to sign up to your newsletter. Where's the bloody GoFundMe? I was hoping that there was a link there for the GoFundMe in this. No, but look, there's a GoFundMe set up for this brother and sister, Jerry O'Halloran, and his sister, Mary O'Halloran, 79 years of age and 83 years of age, respectively. They were threatened at knife point by apparently a male intruder who left the house on Boyce Street with an undisclosed sum of cash. So hopefully this sick puppy is caught, and do you know what? And a non-vigilante. I honestly hope there's somebody out there in the community who knows who doesn't done it, and you know, just gives them a proper old hiding themselves, because do you know what'll happen if he goes up before the courts? They won't even be sent to prison. That's a sad reality of the justice system here in Ireland. People like this, you know, they'll sympathise with them in some way. And why do they sympathise with them? I don't really understand, because they have very little sympathy for a person who gets caught with 10 euros worth of cannabis and they're giving them 3 months suspended sentences. Like, somebody, that their sympathy suspended the sentence. It's like, come here, 3 months suspended sentence because he got caught with a bit of cannabis. Come off the fucking stage, like. What a waste of time. No, there needs to be more Gardaí involved in patrolling our communities, intercepting people who could be carrying dangerous weapons, who could be going out to commit crimes like that. Guards, any amount of time that a guard spends trying to detect and deter drug use in our community is time wasted, and that's time spent where you know, they could have been deterring crimes like that. So that's what's going on here in Cork at the moment. You know, we've got a major problem in the city. That there's people running amok there who think they're untouchable, because honestly there's not enough guards. It's kind of, I hate saying that. I hate when I hear saying that, because there is not enough guards. But in the same time, how many guards do we, like 326 guards full-time Operation Tara. 326. Meanwhile, I will still say there's not enough guards there doing what I want them to be doing, which is to be actually looking for people involved in knife crime, burglary, known rapists, known bloody pedophiles, you know, looking at those people, watching those people in our communities. You know, not Martin, who's known for a bit of cannabis, like, you know, not any fucking Sean or Johnny there down the road who might like a bit of cocaine or something like that on a Friday night with their few pints or something. Like, that's a waste of their time. That's a waste of their time. It really is. Like, and even if Sean and Johnny there, you know, like, if they had a legal place they could go buy their cocaine, then there would be no business there for the illegal drug dealers then, like, you know. Because they would have a legal avenue to go get their drug of choice. Rant. Like, let's go back. Let's go back to it's Valentine's Day, guys. The love is in the air. Let's try and liven her up. I see lots and lots of comments after coming through there, guys. I really appreciate your interaction with the show. John Phantom, another thing too, the ATF form for buying a firearm in the US specifically says you can't do marijuana, even if it is medical by the state. I bet at least 15% of firearm owners use cannabis. Yeah, that's probably right. Again, another way in which they discriminate, because if you look at the statistics, really, the people who shouldn't have firearms are people who are prescribed antipsychotic drugs based upon, the stats on the mass shootings. A lot of those people in mass shootings were on antipsychotic drugs, apparently. So, but they would never suggest that. Why would they not suggest that? Because they would get the pantsuit off them if they were ever to try to suggest that, if you were to be prescribed, because it's discrimination in a form. And I wouldn't stand, and there'd be heavy lobbying by the pharmaceutical companies to make sure that wasn't the case either. Jamie Power, I just want to give a shout out to you, as it was about 10 minutes ago I started my rant. I think it was anyway. And Jamie got in an old super chat, says, keep it up, Martin. And I certainly will. I won't be giving up anyway, that's for sure, Jamie. I stand by my convictions in this. The prohibition of cannabis is wrong. That has to change. I don't deserve the treatment I've received in society. I've seen many other people mistreated like I've been treated too. So not just for myself, for them and for my kids too, because I've 2 daughters and a son. I don't want them to be growing up in a society where we've got 326 guards full-time dedicated to drug users and drug dealers, when we've got rapists and murderers out there at large in our communities. Like, the people involved in that crime, like, how many guards are actively searching them, like, if searching for them? I don't know, like, I don't want to be too critical of the guards, there's some good guards out there, but still there's 326 of them wasting their fucking time on drug users and drug dealers, when that's not an issue for them. That's not a criminal issue. Sorry, it's not a criminal issue. Provide a legal avenue for people to get their drugs legally, and illegal drug dealing goes away then overnight, pretty much, if it's an effective means of people getting their drugs legally. We do it for alcohol, we do it for tobacco, we do it for caffeine, we do it for sugar and all the other drugs, we regulate for them. And it's important that we do it, and it's important we do it for the others. Like, we really we've lost the plot with the prohibition, like, and I fear to think what would come if we were to continue this for another 10 years, But yes, as I say, we want to get back to the positive stuff. I'm just going to look at your comments there. B. Mooney was looking on Leafly. Apparently forbidden fruit has the same turf profile as Road Dog. Completely different flavours though. It's amazing how diverse the flavours are based on different ratios of essential oils. Yeah, again, coming at it from the herbal science perspective, I think and consumers need to be informed about these compounds in the plants. This shit, like, of, do you want it or not? Like, that's the strain most people in Ireland smoke. Do you want it or not? You ask a fella, like, it's like, what is it? It's like, what do you mean, what is it? Do you want it or not? But it's a 50 bag. It's like 3 grams if you're lucky. 3.5 if you're really lucky. But yeah, that's got to change. Cannabis is not worth that. Like, it is and it isn't. Like, it shouldn't be at that price, but it is a very valuable product. But it shouldn't be we shouldn't be paying that much for it. Again, I talk about it. You buy thyme, rosemary, oregano. These also have got really beneficial essential oils, compounds within them, but look how much those things are. You buy a jar of about 25 grams of rosemary for about 50 cent in Lidl or Aldi. Why shouldn't I be able to get like fucking 25 grams of Aldi quality cannabis for as little as, all right, maybe not 50 cent, but maybe about €5 for 25 grams of Aldi quality cannabis. Like, it will come, guys. If they have alcohol over there. Like, once cannabis becomes a legal, regulated thing, there will be a day, when you probably have 25 bags, 25 gram bags of cannabis in Aldi for like a £5. All right, I have a bowl packed up here alongside of me, but I have to get a video lined up there actually as well. Video. Forgive me, guys. This is probably going to come straight up on screen. We'll turn this off. Spoiler alert. Yes, I should have had this on studio mode. There we go. Studio mode engaged. Yes. Should have had all this sorted out there earlier, but I didn't. Boom, that's both of them up there now. Savage. So I have one quick video. It's a little flashback to the 420, the picnic in the park, the 420 Spark Up at the picnic in the park here in Cork last August, I think it was.
Almost.
So oh yeah,
Almost.
make this properly adjusted there for the screen.
Sparkle up, guys. It's 420.
I'm not hearing that now.
Oh.
So you're all able to hear that. I can't hear nothing. I'm going to make sure I can hear the next one though. Nice one. So that was myself giving a little Spark Up intro there. So that was a little class memory, but that wasn't the main memory of it. Like, you know, about a second or two after that, I don't know if you heard him there on that part, or did I cut that out? I was doing a bit of splicing of the video there earlier. But Monsieur, and I see him out there in the audience, Monsieur. So you know, for the day that's in it, Mister, you know, for the old Valentine's Day, love is in the air. I just had to share the most romantic, memorable moment of the entirety of the podcast, you know, since its inception, and we'll get it up on screen there now in a second. Again, I just go back to studio mode. No, not that one. Where is it? Damn it. Alright, I'm messing this up. There we go.
One big thing about cannabis is I would have never met this girl and stayed with her this long without it. So Chloe Devlin, you gonna marry me or what?
Okay. Haha. Haha. Fair play. Cheers.
Cheers, man. So again for the happy couple, guys. It was a joke, it was a space filler.
It's too late.
So yes, magical memories there. I hope you don't mind me resharing that one there, Mr. Monsieur out there. So I hope yourself and Miss Monsieur or Miss Fudge, yourself and Chloe are doing excellent. Look forward to catching up in person actually as well. Hopefully in a not too distant future, I suppose. Not too sure if you're going to be able to make it down to Dungarvan. I'm currently working on a little graphic actually there for a little poster for Dungarvan's protest on the 23rd of March. That's next month. I'm going to go with go ahead with a protest down in Dungarvan. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to see the outcome of Mark, the relief case in the High Court. Not too sure when he's back up there again. But again, that could you know, that could change a lot there for myself in the courts as well, because he could be setting a legal precedent there in the High Courts, which I will be quickly going utilising then for my own benefit as well. But relief, yeah, I know of relief from Dungarvan and the protest there last year. So yeah, their high court case is going to be coming to a close hopefully soon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, I really needed to get a drink there. Daily Talker, you can get a bag of carrots for €1. Why not get a bag of weed for €1? Exactly, Daily Talker. Like, do you know, was I being a bit too greedy saying 5? You know, is €1 actually, you know, more where should be at? But you know, it's true. It's so true. Daily Talker says, see me there in the background with the bong. Go on, Daily Talker. Yes. So who else is out there? John Finney and Elijah calling, I hear. Yeah, Elijah was giving us socks there at the go downstairs there to get an old refreshment myself, and yeah, small man is getting a bit cranky. He knows 420 News is on. He wants to come up and have a chat with y'all. Magnetic Maggie Flutes and Roots says, whoop whoop, I agree, I've been saying that. So yeah, I want for the value cannabis too. Oh guys, it's 422. We missed 420, but it is 422 over in the Azores, I believe. So in the Azores, it was 420 just 2 minutes ago, but it's 422 over there right now. And 422 is 422. So let's blaze one up. Oh, so what's everybody's plans? What anybody doing any like romantic things with their significant others for this Valentine's, or have we got a load of lonely hearts here, or people who just prefer, you know, to be a single Pringle? But I don't know, like I don't have the benefit of being in a relationship where both parties enjoy cannabis. But I'd imagine if both people, like I'm sure Mr. Monsieur and Miss Fudge both enjoy the cannabis. So would you be having maybe a cannabis infused meal later on? Or will there be just an old meal and a bit of cannabis on the side? But yes, there's only one type of flower anyway I want to be getting on Valentine's Day. That's cannabis flower. Oh, Temple Grower says, time for some blueberry. Yum, yum. I got just a crystalline entity here, so I'm not complaining at all. So blaze on up, guys. Yeah, in fairness, that was a lovely video. I was absolutely blown away by the fact that Monsieur actually was going ahead and proposed down there. I was just like, oh, that really made my day. It was the real kind of cherry on top, you know, of all the other really good things that come out of that day. It's just like, oh, people got engaged as well. And that's true too. You know, like how many people are in relationships because they were able to go to the pub and they were able to, you know, catch the eye of their significant other over the glass of a pint. You know, it's just like, you know, you're at the bar, you're ordering, and you're just like, oh, how's things? Oh, I seen you around, find you very attractive. But we don't have the same opportunity with cannabis, you know. Luckily enough for Monsieur and for Chloe, that they were able to come together. In the video, he says, you know, that it was for cannabis, so I think that there was probably cannabis had something to do with the two of these lovebirds coming together. But again, you know, if there was more of a venue within your locality for you to go and get some cannabis, then there's a much more of a chance of you meeting a like-minded lady or friend or other, you know, whatever person, gender you're into, you know, whatever way the door swings for you. But, you know, again, you know, there's more of a chance of you finding a significant other who has a like-minded, you know, interest in this thing anyway of cannabis, you know. So it doesn't have to be. It's to be like, you know, oh, both of you like cannabis, but it's just like, oh yeah, he's into fishing, and you know, you're into whatever it is you're into. But it's just like, you know, you can explore each other's interest then as well through that, while enjoying the old cannabis as well. It's just annoying, you know, just going back to the fact that we're locked out of these opportunities, you know, life-changing opportunities too, because imagine how much more different it would be to your life if you were able to meet at a venue like that. Like you're over in Amsterdam, let's say, you're in a coffee shop, or even over in Barcelona and you're in a coffee shop. Well, if you're in a place and there's like a person there that you're attracted to, there's something you know that you're interested in, both of you. It's like, oh, both of us like cannabis, we're here, we both like cannabis. And then you might look and see like, oh, the top or something, you know, you see something and you can chime in and you can start chatting. And again, you see what I mean? Like, you know, there's a whole life then of opportunity opened up to both individuals because of this chance meeting, because of both coming to this venue based upon, you know, their like of this herb. Again, for the day that's in, and I think that's important to talk about, you know, the finding your forever friend, you know, this person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. I think it is important, if you are going to be a consumer of cannabis, that might be a way in which you find that other person. You know, you could be going down to these venues. Why is it just a pub? That's the thing, you know, where you have it for the pub. Why is it just a pub? Sorry, I'm going to finish off the rest of my bowl. It's like being an hour-long rant here, is it? Sorry, guys. Yeah, I see Monsieur saying, excellent day I was, and I had never stayed with her. I'm sure you would have. He says she's now a fully affiliated smoker and a believer. No, it's certainly something that needs to be accepted. Like, imagine being in a relationship where that was something you hid from your significant other. You know? Oh, imagine how annoying that would be in that relationship, you know? Or to be in a relationship where one person didn't like the fact that the other person consumed. They knew it, you know, and they tolerated it, but they didn't like it. It's like, you know, you make sure now you get down there to the back shed, you know, and you make sure I don't smell you know, and spray yourself before you come in, no, because, you know, it's like, imagine being stuck in that kind of a nightmare relationship because you didn't have the opportunity, you know, to disclose this thing or to maybe explore it a bit further with the other person, you know. It's like, oh man, that would be nasty. Thank God I've not experienced that. What's happening, Ross? Dr. Green Thumb. Good evening. Tumble Grower says, because I'm a psycho and take like 1,000 pics. Oh yes. There's something about taking pictures of cannabis plants as well. When I'm over at my pal and like, and he's all turn off the location. But yeah, you definitely have to have the blue filter though. The blue filter for over the lens, it's quite handy. To cut out the red light. It really opens up the plant to be pictured. TG, find that bong, man. Get it packed. I'll be packing up another one there again in a little bit. Ireland's Cannabis Party says, I'm watching this from a graveyard. As you've probably guessed, I'm not exactly into Valentine's Day. Out trying to raise the dead inside John. Are you on it? What's that called again? Is it necromancy? Is that the word? You into necromancy? Is that the word? Necromancy? I just Google it now. Necromancy. necromancy is communicating with the dead. What's the one? Necrophilia? Necrophilia. I didn't mean that in an offensive way. I was just cracking a joke, John. I couldn't imagine you'd be into that. But look, John, I'm not judging, man. If you're into necrophilia, dude, man, whatever floats your boat, bud. Imagine that's actually a thing, like. Do you know? That is quite. It's quite a cold hobby. Yeah, Monsieur corrected me there with the necrophilia. Nice one. And actually, I go and crack a joke about it, but Mustawa has actually done the more correct and respectable thing and says, sorry there, John, my condolences. So just in case, John, you might have lost a friend or something, here I am cracking jokes, but so my apologies. Surely you wouldn't be listening to me in the graveyard if you're out there remembering a friend. You're probably out there just having a smoke. Graveyards cool places to go hang out. I love the wind chimes at graveyards. I love listening to them. Something just really, I don't know, calming about them. Creepy, but calming. B. Mooney, another victimless crime. Love it. Yes, another person with a sick sense of humor. Scatness says is nailing someone a banned term now, or only when used in conjunction with dad and sister? Not too sure. Certainly not something that I've ever used really in a sentence together. John Finian here saying, Martin, go back to using the volcano. That bang is fecking you up. Yeah, how many bang hits are we in? We're three bang hits in now. I should get a bang hit counter actually for this. And you know what, guys? Actually, for the day that's in it, I've been waffling on and on, but I'm on a hair film me, so again, forgive me if my audio is shite on year end, but you will be coming through loud and clear to not my location, turn on Bluetooth. Boom. So I'll put her up on screen there now for you guys. Taking calls shortly. Taking calls right now. So put that up there. So we get this connected. So hopefully this goes well. If anybody wants to give a bell, I'm not too sure will the number actually work. I've not put credit into it since I bought it, but it should still be active. Like it says, it's reading here anyway. Call the Bridewell for the crack. No, I don't want to be giving them any more reasons to be coming looking for me. That they got enough reasons to be coming looking for me already. So hopefully it is working. It's set up there anyway. The SIM card is in. 085 816 7420. There we go. It is working. Somebody is calling. Whoever should this be? Hello, welcome to Martin's World.
Hi Martin, it's Monsieur Fudge.
Hey, Mr. Fudge, welcome to Martin's World for a second time today.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, to be honest with you, and I can't wait till the next 420. I'm going to be there. The colours showing, obviously.
Excellent.
But I'd like to touch on that point you said about couples, you know. maybe it's something we can all share together. And my missus's family were disbelievers, shall we say. But now, seeing the effects and the attitude it has on people, they are now believers. So, it spreads the love and it spreads the motion.
Nice. That's so, good to hear.
I'm happy anyway. It's Valentine's Day, so.
Nice. Have you tied a knot yet? Or are you any closer to that day? Have you set the date?
No, as you know, I bought my dog on Valentine's Day and his date of birth is Valentine's Day, so that kills one anniversary. And next time is 420, so we'll probably get married on 420.
Oh, nice. This year? Or next year?
This year, if she's happy with, just signing some paper.
Oh, okay.
I think she's a big dress and the kind of girl,
Yeah.
So we'll go for that.
Nice one, man.
Well, thank you very much.
How's everything? All is good anyway, yeah? You're in good spirits, it sounds like.
Everything's fine. We're everybody's struggling at the minute still with mental health and bits and bobs like that, which I'm focused on at the moment. Helping people and everybody else, But, hopefully there could be a little bit of alleviation soon enough with these laws and we can get the medication we need.
Fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed for that.
And if there's anybody who needs a case study out there, I'm one.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. But the thing is, like, there's lots of people out there, man. But they're not doing any research on this. Like, where is there no research being done on this? Like,
no. And I'm in talks now with psychologists, physicians, and doctors, and they're all saying the exact same thing that it's alleviating issues. But I cannot be even considered at this moment in time. I've just signed for disability, but I cannot be considered at this moment in time for the drug straw. Well, the cannabis. So,
yeah.
the cannabis medical card, so to speak.
Well, maybe you might get in touch. Actually, we might organise your with yourself and Chloe to have the wedding back down in the place where you proposed to each other or something like that, and we'll have a cannabis protest wedding.
They'll take the groom. They'll take the groom.
Yeah.
But thank you very much.
Yeah, nice one. Nice one for calling in, Monsieur, man. It's an absolute pleasure to hear from you, man.
No, it's been beautiful as well, but I'll stay in touch and enjoy the evening, everybody listening.
Thanks, son. Thanks again. Good luck.
Thank you.
Monsieur, thanks very much, dude, for taking the time out and giving me an old bell there. Absolute pleasure to hear the voice. And I look forward to seeing the face again, as I say, not in the not too distant future there. Pop back up the sound on my mic at the equalize the sound there. We were coming in hot. John Finnegan says, day out with the fudges. Yes, woohoo. For the day that was in it, I suppose we'd have to make some proper fudge as well, yeah? Huh? I've done it before, actually. I've made some homemade fudge, and it was quite delicious. Dangerously delicious, actually, because it was so tasty. You'd go back for a few more pieces and you'd quickly consume more than your fill. Scatna says, but the picnic is on 423. Yeah, that's the one, 423. I think that I'm talking about the picnic in Rashers is saying do that picnic. I'm going to do a picnic down here in Cork again in around the August mark, the same as last year. I never really wanted to get into doing kind of like annual type of protest events, but in the spirit of it all, like there'll be stuff going on across April. It seems like it's all going to be focused above in Dublin. I don't really want to water down the events above in Dublin, so I'll stay supporting the events in Dublin. So I'll stay supporting the activities of the Cannabis Activist Alliance, of the major protest as well. So we'll stay supporting the stuff in Dublin, and hopefully everybody else can make the effort to get up there. If you can't, no problem at all. I know what it's like to get up to Dublin. It's a bit of a pain in the arse, especially from Cork. But yes, we'll do something down in Cork again in August, and probably before that again, maybe. We'll see. Ireland's Cannabis Party says 2 nights ago on a windless night, my Chinese chimes started ringing, indoor chimes. I think I'm behind being haunted. Never. And like being visited, maybe. Nah, just jokes. Temple Grower says he never seen the call in, but no. Yeah, if you give the number a bell, then the phone will give an old chime, and should be able to communicate. I'm not too sure the quality of the sound going through to your phone. Apparently, it doesn't actually fucking translate well through this for some reason. I think I have to change a setting on the microphone actually. But I haven't figured it out yet. Winging it. Absolutely winging it. Scatna says can do it at the dial. Nah, they're not worth the waiting of the fudges. Those old sour pusses up there would only bring the atmosphere of the day down. Rasher's here saying I'll be down to Cork this year. Just say when. Nice. Good to hear. We get working on that one. So, right, let's have a look at some of the other headlines that we have out there, guys, because I did have some news that I wanted to visit with you, but I didn't really get around to it. We've been waffling on. One of it is a Valentine's Day themed post. It's coming out of Keep Billy Alive. It's a Facebook page in support of Billy Caldwell. So I will just pop off the hotline number there for a couple of minutes, and I'm going to pop up the crump here. So Keep Billy Alive. It's the Facebook page in support of I Am Billy, the boy who changed the law. And the Facebook post, it features a picture here of Billy Caldwell in his favourite outfit as well. He's dressed up there in his Harry Potter gear. Big fan of the Harry Potter. But again, you know, his mother, Charlotte Caldwell, taken to the Facebook, just sharing this very moving post. You know, she says, every year around this time, we walk the aisles of Asda searching for Valentine's cards and chocolates for each other, and every single time, without fail, I have to hold back my tears while I grasp a trolley handle as hard as I can, trying not to look crazy, sobbing in the cards section. Every single year it is the same. My heart melts while I try to keep it together. I see the chocolates and the cards and the beautiful bunch of vibrant red roses you choose for me, and at that moment it always hits me. The only words to describe it are breathtaking, absolutely unbelievable that you just keep making it and making it and making it, thanks to this wonderful plant. And the plant she's talking about, guys, it's no secret, it's the cannabis plant. So she goes on to say that you have now lived 16 Valentines on this earth when all the odds were stacked against you. Because again, like Billy and many other patients out there, he's benefiting. Cannabis is preventing the multiple seizures he would have experienced on a daily basis from happening, all thanks to the extract of the cannabis plant. So again, she's just expressing her thanks to this wondrous plant that so much effort, you know, so much. Again, look at all the man hours gone in just for me. Look at it over the decades that have gone past it to try to eradicate this plant, to try to hide all the evidence that was there to support the medicinal use of it, you know. So she's expressing her thanks for this plant that these people wanted to hide and eradicate, you know, to exterminate. She goes on to say, you might not ever understand what it means, but if you can ever read these words that I am typing, so to you through my tears, I want you to know that you are amazing. So many things you have said you wouldn't do, so many years they said we may not see, and today you sit in front of me with a Valentine's card saying, I love you, mummy. And as we share our 16th Valentine's candlelight dinner, I step away for a moment to cry in the bathroom where you cannot hear me, because I don't want you to think I am sad right now. I am just so proud of you, Billy. You are so amazing. I do not know if you would live to see 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, and here you are today, and you are happy, you are thriving, and growing up into a quite the young man. You are making it. I am so, so proud of you. I love you with all my heart. Let's do this 100 more times, my magical wizard. Happy Valentine's Day, mummy, and a little purple heart there for epilepsy warriors out there, you know. So, yeah, pretty moving post. And excuse me, clearing the throat there. Yeah, Billy, a little behind the facts information. If you didn't know, I believe Billy is the first patient to be prescribed cannabis by the NHS in the UK. So this would be kind of like the what would you call them here in the Ireland, the HSE. So prescribing it, you know, kind of with your medical card and all that crack. So he's one of the first patients to get that approved in the UK. Again, like Vera Toomey, Charlotte Caldwell fought a very hard and arduous battle to get Billy access to the cannabis that, to this day, you know, Charlotte believes is keeping him alive, allowing him to experience, you know, many more Valentine's days on this earth, you know. And that's an interesting measure of a person's life, you know. His 16th Valentine's candlelit dinner. Or sorry, he's lived 16 Valentines in this earth. Yeah. So there you go, a little moving Valentine's Day cannabis themed post. Again, coming from Keep Billy Alive, that's UK cannabis patient Billy Caldwell, epilepsy sufferer, and you know, the first UK cannabis patient prescribed cannabis under the NHS, I believe. Don't hold me to that. I just thinking that at the top of my head. That also could have been the other young fella. What was his name? Alfie Dingley. He could have been the first, actually. So again, I could be crossing wires on that, but look, it doesn't really matter who was first. The important thing is they have it and it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. But yeah, there you go. Pop that off screen. Have a look at your comments. No, they're not calling YouTube, actually, Temple Gore. They're calling me. If you call that number that was on the hotline, that's actually going to be calling like the Irish number. So that's like an Irish mobile number. And yeah, it'll go through to my phone, which is connected to my Roadcaster. And we could have a little communique. I see Fletch has got a question. Is there any update on John O'Regan's court case? No, I believe John O'Regan got a reduction in his community service. And I think he's in the audience at the moment. If he's out there, John, when is your next court date? I think he's March, maybe. I think it was March. I'm not too sure there, but I do believe John has got another court case. But his last one, I think it was a reduction in his community service. He had 120 hours, and they reduced that to 70 hours community service. Yes, Stevie Woodcraft there with the I am Billy, we are all Billy. Barry Field says, Fwetch, join the Telegram hotbox and you can ask him. And yeah, if you go into the Telegram hotbox, you'll be able to find, make sure that if you go into the Telegram hotbox, there's 3 admins there. So make sure you're not going to call the admins, but you can call me through Telegram as well. And if you call me on Telegram, you call the show as well. So just put that as an option out there as well, guys. If you wanted to call me on Telegram, that's connected up here right now as well. Technology these days, it's amazing. I don't know, can I actually call the hotbox? Can I call the hotbox and do like a big giant group call? I can start a video chat. Start video now. Okay, no, that's just like sending a video message. Never mind, look, guys, sorry, get distracted there. Stoner problems. It's all your fault, Temple Grower made me pick up my phone. John Figgin says, I think Billy is from Northern Ireland and is in exile in Canada. I may be wrong, but I think Alan Robinson was campaigning for him. Yeah, Alan Robinson, NI Canada guy, definitely did an awful lot of work there in support of Billy Caldwell above Northern Ireland. Yeah, I believe he is a native Northern Irelander. And they did move. I think you were right. Over to Canada. I believe they were getting access to cannabis over in Canada, and then they got him back to the UK again. They got him back to Northern Ireland, and he got access to cannabis under the NHS then in Northern Ireland after again a very hard battle for his mum. But again, if they're back in exile in Canada, that's news to me. As last I heard that they were back in the UK and they were getting prescribed under the NHS and all was peachy. But again, maybe I should reach out to Charlotte and see what the crack is. Billy Bonds, what's happening, Billy? Billy Bonds, I'm going to catch up with on Wednesday, I believe, on Wednesday morning. So I look forward to having that chat there, Billy. And we'll get that out to the people then as well, ASAP on Wednesday. All going well. Hopefully we got no bumps in the road on the way. Get another bowl packed up here. So that's some of the cannabis themed Valentine's Day news there. That's coming out of Billy Caldwell's Facebook page. Again, I'll just repeat that for you guys. It's Keep Billy Alive. So that's at I Am Billy UK over on Facebook. Pop it up on screen so you can see it one last time. Boom. So other news I have for you out there. Oh, it was over on Twitter actually. This was. Boom, yes. There's been breaking news over on Twitter, over on Luke McFlanagan's page. So I'm going to pop this up on screen there for you now in a second. But yes, apparently, all the cannabis is gone. So this is coming from Luke McFlanagan's page there. He says, my skepticism on prohibition has been proven wrong. That's it. The last cannabis ever. All gone. Gone. It's done. Gone. And this is a case coming out of County Tipperary where a man was caught with €125,000 worth of cannabis. Massive amount of cannabis. Massive, in fairness. Like, no, it's not. It's not. It's a tiny amount of cannabis. It's not even worth the bloody internet bandwidth that was used to post the article. But this is coming out of County Tipperary where a man was arrested, a man in his early 60s as well. So keep in mind, all right, this crime carries with it a minimum mandatory of 10 years because it's over €13,000. So like this guy is in his early 60s, so he's going to be in his early 70s then upon release if he was to get his minimum mandatory. Like, what a waste of time and effort. Again, like, you know, this cannabis, there would have been many people out there happy to receive this. The Gardaí intercepted something which was going to bring joy to many people. It would have been much more worthwhile if these Gardaí were out there patrolling and intercepting something that people would not be happy to receive. You know, such as a knife, being threatened by a knife. You know, to be burgled in any way, to be violated in any way. You know. Well, what did the Gardaí achieve, really? Come on. Why has this never been asked by the media? Why has this never been brought up? Like, this about going around in circles. The Gardaí says there they also discovered a grow house in the attic of a residence containing 17 cannabis plants. Ooh, massive, massive amount. And unlucky for this person, it's €13,600 worth of cannabis they're saying it's worth. So again, if this is the same person, again, there's another 10 years in prison for the cultivation charge, because it's another drugs charge over to €13,000. It says in further searches of the house, Gardaí located 4 sealed buckets. Yeah, so it's all the one house, but 2 charges here, cultivation and possession, and both over the 13,000. So both charges should be a minimum mandatory of 10 years. Not trying to scare the person, because again, he's in his early 60s here. The dude could bloody go into cardiac arrest over the stress of this. Again, this cannabis would have never have caused any problems for anybody out there unless it was sprayed with some adulterants, which I hope it was not. But then still, nonetheless, we're never going to find that information out, because the Gardaí don't care about consumers, so they don't relay that information back out to people, unfortunately. It says in total €125,600 worth of suspected cannabis herb was seized pending analysis. The man was arrested at the scene and taken to a Nina Garda station, where he was questioned. He has since been charged in connection with the case and is expected to appear before a special sitting of Tipperary District Court in Nina this morning. So shout out as well to Darren White in Nina. I believe Darren White says his ancestry goes back to Nina in County Tipperary. So Darren White is the owner of a now recreational cannabis production facility. It was then a medical production, but now since I believe it's Texas is not Texas, New Mexico has opened up to recreational production supply. So he's now since diversified his business. So yes, shout out to ex-Sheriff Darren White, an ex-past guest in the show. Not forgetting about your pal again, Nina. Anytime I hear Nina, I always think of, oh yeah, he went down way. Yeah, his family's from down that way. Did they have any land down there, Darren, huh? Any chance of a farm being set up? We get a bit of white widow going on down there, huh? I see Barry Fields comment in there. Nice one, Barry Fields, with the hookup on that one as well. I see Ireland's Cannabis Party says my sentence was reduced from 120 hours to 70 hours, and his next court date then is March 22nd. So the day before mine, actually, John. So I'm up on the 23rd myself. So I'm up on the Wednesday, you're up on the Tuesday. Down in Dungarvan for myself, though. Should be great crack. That judge was incredibly biased. Incredibly biased. You know, it'd be like, you know, a turkey voting for Christmas. Like, you know, it's like a turkey would never vote for Christmas. But yeah, that was the judge. The judge was never going to go against prohibition. Like, he hated drugs. And Hunter, who was there with me at the day, yeah, would definitely agree with what I said there. Hey, Paddy J says, I'm down to my last joint of hash, thinking of giving up cannabis for a while, or maybe forever. Becoming too much hassle. Mrs. will probably give me an ultimatum soon, I'd say. You see here now, this is the ball breaker, what happens, like, you know, the missus is like, you have to give that up, like, you're getting in too much, it's too much trouble, like, you know, you're dealing with dodgy characters, like, you know, all of this kind of crap, like, you know, it's just like, you can't have the lifestyle that you really want to have because of the problems that are created because of the prohibition of cannabis. You know, if it was pints, you know, if you like to go out for a pint on a one night a week, you know, I'm sure your missus wouldn't really be giving you an ultimatum about that, like, you know, if a bit of hash, like, you know, I'm sure if you were able to pick up the hash there while you were down doing the old shopping, I'm sure, you know, the missus wouldn't be too given out if you were able to pick up something nice for her as well, like. But unfortunately, it's not convenient like that, like, and it's expensive as feck as well. It really is, like, it's way too much. a bit of hash by right, like, should be costing you, do you know, do you know, €1 or two a gram, like. Casa de Stroga says GYO. That means grow your own, guys. Again, do you know, might not be feasible for people. I'm sure Paddy probably would love to grow his own, but like his missus is probably going to be putting the foot down on me, like, no way, Jose, like, I live here too, and you can't be bringing that onto my house. Like, I can understand that situation arising for a couple when one consumes and the other doesn't. That's a kick in the nuts. But yes, grow your own, guys. That's the way to go. Like, it really is. It's the only way to go in a model of prohibition, because otherwise it's too much hassle. Like, it's just too much hassle. Like, and it doesn't have to be growing your own. Like, you know, find a friend who could be possibly growing it if you financially supported them. You know, come up with an agreement there where you would cover the cost of the electricity and X, Y, and Z. You know, come to some sort of an agreement. Like, so literally sign an agreement where if that person is raided, you've got a signed agreement where both of you own half of it. Like, you know, all of these kind of things. Like, come up with some sort of thing, like a little collective of your own, where, look, none of us are making money out of this. Yeah, I give him money, but it's to cover the costs associated with the production, and this is our little agreement there. Look at, like, there's easy little things. It could be as simple as a little paragraph you write yourself, sign it together, take a little photo of you signing, a little selfie, a video of you signing it, whatever you need, you know. But who do we have here? Let's answer this. Hello.
Hi, Marty.
Oh, one second.
Hi, Marty.
Hello.
Hello, Martin.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can just about hear you there now. Yeah, nice and clear. My name is Magnetic Maggie. I just joined you today. So I've been a long time supporter.
Oh, nice one. Welcome to the show, Magnetic Maggie.
Thanks very much, mate. Yeah, long time supporter, a 50-year-old single mother. Just tell you a bit of back history. About 2 years ago, got caught coming home from work at night, late at night. I'm a gardener and working hard, and the guard stopped me and asked if they could smell cannabis. Have you any cannabis? I had about a gram on me. I got arrested then for drug driving. Then I went to court last year and they put me off the road for a year. And a week later then they raided my home. And I had 25 plants. They're only about a foot tall. Now I'm up for... so I went to court last June. And then a cop turned up at my house on January the 11th. And with a summons in with a summons for court, they were going to charge me with growing the plants, genius cannabis.
Yeah, cultivation without a license.
Without a license, yeah. So I'm up for that now, and I just went a couple of weeks ago. That was 10 days before the court. That was the first thing I knew about it. And then, so I'm up. I had to go then last time and apply for the solicitor. So I'm up again now on March the 11th.
March the 11th, so you're up very soon again. Do keep me posted on how that goes. What's your solicitor saying? Do they think the outcome might be?
Well, I have a meeting with him now next week.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't looked up too much. Like you say, you're a lifeline there. I just heard about you, a year ago. It's just good to know there's a community out there supporting.
Yeah. Well, if you want to keep me or send me any more information, like privately about your case or anything like that, or if you even want to disclose whatever you want to disclose about it, I'm sure people could support you, because even like that, like we were saying it for John O'Regan the last day, if John O'Regan was to go to prison for his crime of cannabis possession and cannabis growing, that we would go to the prison and we'd be outside there and stage a protest outside of that very prison where John would be held. But I would extend that same opportunity for yourself. If if you can inform us, if you were to ever get a custodial sentence, fucking touching wood here, it doesn't happen. But if you could let us know, I would gladly get out there and campaign, to free Maggie.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it won't stop me smoking or growing, mate. I still got me plant growing, so.
Legend, I love it. That's it.
I know, they still smoke, mate. Yeah, exactly. Like you say, I'm 50. I'm not going to stop now, you know what I mean? And like you say, they find me 300 quid. That's food off my kids.
Yeah, that's the same for me. Like I've 3 kids now myself. Recently had a new son added to the family.
Yeah.
But
congratulations.
It was an awful sting before. I can remember having to hand €350 to the charity, the donation, but that was money. It was in March, and it was money I was saving up for my daughter's birthday, for a bouncy castle, for presents, the costs associated with that. And it was just so painful having to part with that money, knowing what it was intended for, and know what you're giving it to. It hurts.
Exactly, yeah. I'll have to pay it, obviously. What I don't know what, if you don't pay it, I don't know what the story is.
Yeah.
But like you say, it's more, I've lost my job as well, because I'm off the road.
Yeah.
So, one leads to another,
Yeah, they done that to me in the past as well. I lost my license for a year, and that really hurt as well. Like not being able to bring my kids to the beach now and stuff, because again, the public service or the public transport is it's quite useless.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm the same. I've had to rely on other people just to get my children to school and
so
things
it's like
that.
Any form of punishment that they use to deter our use of cannabis inadvertently actually hurts our families more than it kind of hurts us. That hurts us back, but it's like it's such a nasty way of trying to hurt somebody, take their bread and butter, take away their ability to provide for their family.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
If I have to go to Florida, I always wanted to go to Orlando. I'm big into theme parks and stuff like that. But if I want to go over to Disneyland now with my family over to there, I have to jump through hoops now to get into the US because of my drug crimes.
Yeah, that's it. I'm probably a criminal now as well. Like you say, never hurt anyone, never harmed anyone in my life. So.
Oh. And
they say we're criminals.
And you already got the year off the road, so you got the conviction there. So
yeah. And does that? I didn't even ask the solicitor. Does that mean I'm a criminal?
Yeah. If you got the move that away there. If you got the year off the road, if you got the year off the road, that would be a thing. Oops, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's mine. I'll stop moving.
No, you're grand. I think it was.
Outside.
No, I think it was my phone went too close to the mic, maybe.
Oh, is it? Okay. No worries, Martin. Well, it's good to finally talk to you. And I've been watching all the hot box and getting, I feel like I've got a crew there supporting me. So that's you
definitely do. There's a home here for all the cannabis community. So young and old, all walks of life. Everybody's welcome here. If we've got this common ground of a love for cannabis and a desire to see the end of this prohibition, then open doors and welcome arms for everybody like that. So welcome, Maggie. It's great to have you.
Lovely. Thanks very much, Martin. Thanks, Martin's World.
Yes.
And nothing can stop us anyway. We'll keep on going fighting.
Legend, Maggie.
Brilliant, Martin.
Have a nice weekend.
I've been contacted too anyway. I'll tell you a bit more. Thanks very much, Martin.
Not a bother. Have a nice week, Maggie. Thanks for the call again.
All right. And you.
We'll chat again soon.
Now.
Bye.
We will. All right. Thanks, Martin. Bye-bye now.
So there we go. That was Maggie with the magic flute. Absolute pleasure there to hear from again another member of the cannabis consuming community out there. Again, not too sure what part of Ireland there, but again, nonetheless, it doesn't matter. We all come together under this one on this common thread, that we want to see cannabis prohibition end, but. We've all been seen the ill effects of it. Some of us have experienced it, but we all see the ill effects of it. Through either indirectly or directly. But again, hopefully we can see this change, so none of us have to experience what Maggie is going through now at the moment, where she's been treated like a criminal for growing some cannabis for her own use. That's it. Like 27 small little plants. Again, shout out to Temple Grower. He's still out there in the audience. Like Temple Grower will attest to that. Like 27 small little plants, about 1 foot height. Do you know, if you had small little autoflowers, so you could be talking about what, 27 little half-ounce plants or something like that. Like maybe 27 little 1 ounce plants. Like if you're a person growing it for the year, there's your year supply. You don't have to grow anymore or something like that. You're shutting down. You might be growing for a little community of people. Why shouldn't you be allowed to grow for a community of people? Grow 27 plants there 3-4 times a year and spread that cannabis out between a small community, split the cost of the electricity and the inputs and stuff like that. Why shouldn't you be allowed it? Why should you be treated like a criminal for doing that? It makes no sense. Justify us. Please, somebody call and justify. Please, somebody call and make sense of cannabis prohibition for me. Am I wrong? Oh, I wish I was wrong. I wish somebody proved me wrong and was like, oh yeah, shit, yeah, maybe cannabis should be illegal. But no, it's like I could never see any sense to cannabis being illegal. And people like Maggie out there just suffering the ill effects of prohibition. It's just wrong. Yeah, a lot of positive comments coming in there as well. Temple Grower saying here, legendary at Magnetic Maggie flutes and roots. And Cassidy Strugas also saying, fair play for calling in, Maggie. Thank you for sharing your story. And yes, I echo that as well. Thanks very much, Maggie, for sharing your story. And anybody else, you know, who's taking part here in the hotbox and sharing their own experiences with cannabis, or who calls in, guys, this is what's going to really be a catalyst to the change. You know, we're all uniting here. We're all getting to know one another, growing, bonding, strengthening our connections. And again, it's united is how we're going to stand and conquer this bloody this prohibition once and for all. Yes, Temple Grower says, cheers and love and support from Canada to Magnetic Maggie. So again, international audience out there, guys. So lots of eyes on the on Ireland at the moment. As I said, there's some of the stories there from across Ireland. As of late, the woman, the 50-year-old lady, again, I believe Magnetic Maggie, said she was a lady who was in her 50s. I should have asked, was that you, Magnetic Maggie? Was that you in the most recent story there? I said the lady who was caught with the 50 plants, but that case was done and dusted, no? The case of the lady in the 50s, or was it put back for the probation report? That's probably a different. I'm probably mixing up the two stories. But again, more people need to be speaking out in this. Might get in touch with you again, Magnetic Maggie, and do an article, a blog piece, a news piece, actually specifically on your case. If it wasn't already covered by the media, I'll keep it anonymous as well if you so wish. Use your username here. So I'll be in touch. I'll look to get in touch. Yes, and yeah, I see the lads, the guys there in the comment section are sharing the 24/7 Hotbox, the Telegram chat group. So that's something that was made there recently. If anybody wants to join, that link is there. It's a public chat group as well, guys, so anybody with the link can join. So just be warned, you know, when you're joining, it's a public group, so only share what you're willing to share publicly through the group. If you would wish to join the private one, we've got an OG's chat group as well, but you need to be verified. Need to meet up in person and get you verified to get you in there. So that's the OG's chat group as well, but we don't talk about that one, so forget I even ever said anything about the OGs. You know who you are out there. Yes, I see Temple Grower as well agreeing there, saying it's as offensive as... yes, it is, definitely. Pause for 420 saying, no, you're not wrong, Martin. There shouldn't even be an argument anymore. There shouldn't be. Like, where is... where is the debates happening? Like, there's a hunger for the debate. There's a massive desire there for debate, but they're just ramming this like drugs and bad MK down our throat. Come on, give us our debate. Give us our opportunity to, argue our points and to use facts as well, not just emotions and this, oh, my son died from THC. And then you listen to the story and it's actually, no, her son actually started smoking some cannabis while he was drinking and stuff like that, and had a bit of a mad one or something like that. Again, the cannabis was a small part of it. Like, the guy was just a bit of a nut job anyway, probably. Just looking through. Nice one again. See the Telegram chat group being shared out there for anybody who wants to join. The family is growing as well out there. Oh, and speaking of family, what's happening, cuz? Ian Cavan out there says, good evening, cuz. And we pack up an old bowl there for you, cuz. It's almost 4:20. Where's it almost 4:20 in? 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, it's going to be 4:20 over in Noranaha, South Georgia, and South Sandwich Islands. Excuse Ball packed, yes. So there we go, 3 minutes and counting. Guard eventing for guard eventing needed for the OG group. No, I think we can come up with a better term for the vetting that's needed for the OG group. It can have vetting. I don't know, there's definitely a better term out there. While we're waiting for the countdown to happen, guys, just pop up the hotline number if anybody else out there feels like they want to share any thoughts, opinions, experiences. If you want to just call in and say howdy, there's the hotline number, guys. Apologies if we get that interference again. I'm not sure why that was happening. Yeah, Magnetic Maggie says, no, not for medical reasons, just because I love how it makes me feel. There you go. And you shouldn't eat. Like, to be fair, like, if it makes you feel good, like, that is therapeutic in its own right. Like, because if you feel good, then that's good. Like, because if you feel good, then that means that, like, rest and recovery. Like, if you feel good, it means you're not stressed, and if you're not stressed, then again, rest, relaxation, recovery, all the thing the body needs to be good and to be healthy and stuff like that. So again, I hate this, like, the need to justify your use of cannabis. It's like, if you want to use cannabis, it's like, yes, I think people should be educated, about the uses of cannabis, and if they choose to use it or not, that's down to them. It's just like, people choose not to drink, people choose not to smoke fags, people choose, like, not to eat sugar, people choose not to eat meat, people choose all sorts of choices in life, and it shouldn't be dictated through a law, especially such a sick, heinous law where when you punish a person, you inadvertently actually punish that person's family and their young children and those people around them. Like, it's cruel, sick. But apparently I'm the morally corrupt one because I use drugs, an illegal drug too at that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye. Happy 420 over there in these places I've never visited before. That looked beautiful, I have to say, as well, actually. They do look beautiful. We had a look at that Noranaha place. It was like off the coast of South America, off the coast of Brazil. Looked beautiful. I have to do a show from there someday. I think Casa said that it was cannabis was decriminalized down there. So that's 2 420s we've rang in on today's show. Woohoo! Feeling good is a perfectly valid reason to use cannabis, says Temple Grower. And I think Temple Grower is a very intelligent person, so I wouldn't disagree with him at all. Well said, Temple Grower. Yeah, life is hard enough. Exactly. Content NL, thanks for the support there as well. See, Content LL says likes the show and the content. Also saying here it's a murky world out there. Yes, indeed it is. In my opinion, people in power / members of current establishment are just too invested to hold on to prohibition. Yeah, there is argument for that. Like you look at the Gardaí, the power of search, stop and search. The power of stop and search is largely due to the Misuse of Drugs Act. You know, that's the main one to go and stop and search people under. So yeah, there is like reasons why they hold on to these things. Also, you know, you look at the big pharma, the farm mafia. Shout out to Billy. There's a big vested interest there too, and for them to keep the prohibition in place so that they can sell you overpriced fucking cannabis products. Yes, I see others out there celebrating 420. Whoop whoop. Pots for 420 says, been using 30 years. Honestly, don't think I'd be here if I didn't. No. I definitely think my quality of life has been much improved thanks to cannabis. I'm not too, like I would hate to think of where my life would have went if I didn't find cannabis, if it didn't play the part it did in my life. Because I definitely think it calmed me down an awful lot. It grounded me. It brought me present. It allowed me to engage with my thoughts, to be more here in the world. Whatever that actually means. Like, but yes, I think cannabis did that for me. And it also diverted me away from alcohol. Alcohol would have been very problematic for me if that was my drug of choice. So yes, thank fuck for cannabis. Temple Grower says, I think life has always been mostly bad for most of us, so anything we have to make it easier should be utilised for sure. Yep, there you go. As long as you're harming nobody, like, and that's the main like thing I think to go with. Like, as long as you're hurting nobody in what you're doing, then what fucking business is it of the government or the law? Like, surely they should be only interested in things that do harm to others, you know, who are unconsenting in that. If you're doing like a behavior which is only harmful for you, okay, there is knock-on consequences if you overdose and die to your loved ones and all of this kind of stuff. Like, but actually, look, you're better in a better position to help those people if you regulate what they're doing, if you educate them better rather than this kind of just say no to drugs kind of approach. Prohibition of drugs, it's failed. It's put ketamine and crack cocaine right into the depths of all of our most vulnerable communities, the places where our authorities will never be able to get it out of, and it'll remain there until we change our ways. Through the comments, Magnetic Maggie, what's happening? Thank you, Martin and supporters. It took a lot, but I'm glad I've shared my story. Me too, Magnetic Maggie. Really thankful you shared that too. Thanks very much. Ian Kavanagh says, you had me looking at my watch. I thought I left work early over you saying it's 4:20 for fuck's sake. No, man, this show is an international show. We travel around the world. Wherever it's 4:20, that's where the show goes. Sorry about that, cause John Finnegan says, is the double jab still needed for travel to Spain? I think just the bloody PCR test thing, you know, you can do that antigen test. Yeah, the antigen test, not the PCR test. So literally just before you go to the airport, you can stop at the chemist. You get the antigen test, and you get your results within like 15 minutes. Boom, bada bing, up to the airport, you're done. That's good for like 24 hours. I think they cost like $50 or something like that to get that done at the chemist. But I think that's what you need to go to Spain. Don't hold me to that. Don't like fact check me there. Somebody fact check me. But last time I checked, that's what was needed. That's what I'm going by anyway. That's what I'm hoping. Hopefully it's all gone by the time fucking Spanibus rolls around. Temple Gore says, but feeling bad leads to despair and dependence, I think, which can and is exploited. Yep. Big time. Hunter K as well, giving a shout out to the Flutes and Roots. Thank you for sharing your story. It's great, and the more and more people are speaking out about it, all definitely helps. Exactly, guys. I'm glad people are able to find their voice through Martin's World, and I'll continue to hold this platform there for more people to come forward, share their stories, and again, you know, as I said, it got the website up there. I'll gladly take the time out to sit down and talk with anybody if they want to do an episode, an interview. By all means, I'll gladly do it with you. If you got a story, if you want to share it. If you want to just call in right now, by all means, go ahead. Content.l. Imagine the resources gone into building a case against Magnetic Maggie. They raided our house after being caught with a gram. Yeah, it's BS. That's you know, it's not a way of saying it. Like, it is complete BS. Like, you're going down the road, the guards they find you with a joint, and that gives them the right to go home and literally go through your bloody underwear drawer, because that's what they do. Like, you know, and shout out to the guys in Little Collins, is that was kind of going from their story. They came and the guards, a load of them came in, raided their home because they had cannabis coming into their business in the form of the CBD flower, and they went through their underwear drawer. They turned it all upside down, removed all their clothes, everything from the drawers, like treated them like some sort of criminal drug dealers. Like, and it's just like, they're legitimate business people. Well, you know, Maggie isn't a criminal drug dealer either. You know, she might be a person who grows enough cannabis for herself and maybe a few others. Like, but again, I don't think she's a bad criminal drug dealer. She shouldn't be treated in the manner, the way in which the guards do. And they go in and they violate your home, your privacy. They go right into your bloody underwear drawers, man. That's just like, no, nobody should be going through my bloody jock drawers. But yeah, Casa de Strogas says the Brazilian version of the crime not so good depending on who you are. Yeah, probably the cops over there are just exploiting it, capitalizing off tourists. They get some fella to sell you a bit of cannabis, and then 10 minutes later, the cops who kind of arranged the drug deal for you come and bust you and, you know, take some of your holiday money off you. Hunter K says here at Martin's World, same here, helps a lot with my anger issues, allows me to think, be myself, be calm a lot more, stops my mind racing at 1,000,000 miles per hour as well, and well, I just love cannabis anyway. Well, if it does all these things for you, then it's kind of hard not to love it, isn't it? B. Mooney says, come back to the old master / slave laws. If we don't have the freedom to put what we want into our own bodies, guys, that's what I'm saying. Where do we stop with this? You know, with this prohibition? Because I hear people talking about it there again recently about, like, oh, this problematic drinkers and all of this stuff. Like how long before this COVID pass becomes a drink pass? Just think about it. Like, if we allow the cops, the authorities, the governments to put a prohibition around our drug use for certain drugs, what's to stop them from doing it around others? Like, you know, imagine they started like having a pass there for how many cigarettes you can buy in a week. Imagine, you know, you were only allowed 20 in a week. That's it, no more 20. You go down with your government card, you know, and you scan it, and you're able to buy 20 cigarettes, like, you know, and that's it. Imagine, like, just saying. Imagine they done that with drink. Why not? Like, you know, they justified it for cannabis, or an outright prohibition. Barry Field says, if you don't come down to Cork, you'll get a double jab. Teresa O'Connell says, hoping tests are gone by then though. Haven't had to have one yet, would like to keep it that way. Yeah, they're quite invasive, in fairness. Like, they really fucking dig in there, some of these COVID swab testers. Yeah, well, that's true actually. Daily Talker saying the COVID pass was already a drinks pass of sorts. A lot of people did get their jab just to get the pass to go to the pub. Yeah, it's true. Such strange times, guys. Such strange times, man. If you talked about this shit 2 years ago, you would have been such a nut job. What? They're going to make us have passes to get into the pub to see if we are vaccinated? Sure, by whatever, you lunatic. Look at the way we are right now. I'm mad. Again, we'll stick with cannabis in this show, like, but it's just mad to think, like, policies and where they go. Poor temple growers, stupid work and obligations and money. You got a class job though, don't TG? Think Rick Doblin and Maps doing a lot of awesome work there. Oh, that's in relation to MDMA works wonders for anxiety. It's in phase 3 trials in America, but still not a word about it here. Yeah, it's funny that there's not much word about it. I've talked about it a few times already about the phase 3 trials going on with MDMA. I should reach out again actually to Maps. They're quite responsive actually in terms of their ability to provide a researcher to talk about the research and the trials that are going on. So I will do an effort there actually to get in touch with Maps and see if they'll fill me in on what's actually going on and get me up to date, and others out there as well. As I learn, you learn. But yes, MDMA works wonders, all right, for many things, but anxiety is certainly one of them for some people. In the right setting, like don't be going down to some dude down the road and being like, "You got any yolks there? By heart, it's great for me anxiety." No. Barry Fields, the answer is never clean your underwear. Temple grower, man, if the guards raided me, they would need a fucking tractor trailer to load everything. Do you know what their trick is, TG? Okay, they come and they'll just chop the plants at the base, so they leave everything behind. But what they'll do then is once all of the plants are chopped at the base, they'll put the pots on the side, they'll stand on the pots, they'll squash your pots, they'll break all your pots, they'll get out a Stanley knife, then they'll slash all of your tents if you're using tents, they'll bend all of the tent pole bars, and apparently they do it in a way in which they break all of your corner pieces as well, so they completely trash all of your gear. They cut all of your electrical stuff right at the wire, like, right at where the wire connects to it, like, so there's no hope of repatching it afterwards, like, well, there probably is, like, but it's, man, they wreck everything, and then they just take the top part of the plants to leave the roots and all of the base stems, everything behind, if there's a lot there, like, that's what I've been told anyway in the past, and they'll just trash the gaff. Landlords come back then, and the landlords have to dispose of all of the broken property, because quite often or not, it's the landlords have to pick up the pieces after these grows get raided. But yeah, that's just kind of what the guards do here if there's a lot of equipment. Just comments in the audience. Scatness, in my experience, MDMA and psilocybin work wonders used together as well. What's that one called? Hippie flipping? Is that the one? Hippie flipping, mushrooms and psilocybin, or psilocybin, mushrooms and MDMA. I think that's hippie flipping. Looking at other comments there. Daily Talker, I still can't believe cannabis is prohibited. I'm worried that it'll catch up with me one day. Daily Talker, hopefully it doesn't, man. Hopefully you'll be one of the lucky ones who'll kind of get through unscathed and not experience some of the shit that I have had to go through, some of the shit that Maggie's currently going through, and others like John as well. It's not nice. It's a horrible situation to be in there in front of a judge, to be spoken down, to have to be treated like a piece of dirt, a no good criminal, somebody that needs to be locked up and taken out of society. Like it's a horrible position to be put in. Candy flip, is that the one? Tinkle Tink saying here, candy flipping. Could be, yeah, candy flipping could be the one. What's hippie flipping, so? Hippie flipping Arrowwood, maybe. MDMA and mushrooms, apparently. That's what's coming up here. Hippie flip, yeah. Apparently saw both work. I'm just gonna hide the hotline there for a second. Arrowwood is fucking the best. Grew up on Arrowwood. That's where I learned all about my drugs, on Arrowwood. But possibly saved my life, you know. I'm getting to learn about ecstasy pills and stuff like that here on Arrowwood. It was quite interesting. But yes, apparently hippie flip, sorta, MDMA and mushrooms. Is it a big story? I'm currently 20 years old and enrolled in college, working on a degree in maths and physics. My past experience with recreational drug use includes daily but not excessive cannabis use, and one experience with a small amount of coke and one use of DXM. A few disappointing shroom trips, and maybe a few experiences with different firms, including Adderall and painkillers. Overall, my drug of choice has been cannabis, and it is the only one which has become anything resembling a regular habit. Now moving on, about a week ago I went to visit a few friends in a town about an hour or two from my hometown. Just gonna lube up. They are living in the same city as their college is in for the summer. All people involved in this particular story are male and within a few years of my age. But for the sake of simplicity, I went to arrive the first letter names. Alright, so when I arrived, and so it's just first letter names. Mushrooms and shrooms at about 7:34 was the. So, okay, so one person remained as a sitter. So everybody took 80 milligrams of MDMA in a gel capsule about an hour. Again, like a gel capsule, like that could have contained any amount of MDMA, but they were told it contained 80 milligrams. About an hour later, it started to kick in, and I felt some sense of well-being and a deeper appreciation for music. If I recall, we mostly listened to stuff like Led Zeppelin, Bob Marley, and Pink Floyd. The entire evening, I was the most energetic of the group, and I could not stop talking or slow down. So they pretty much let me control the music and the lighting for the whole night. About an hour and a half after the initial ingestion, I started to feel more open and I would take long trips walking about in the neighborhood talking. Yeah, that's something about taking MDMA, all right, isn't it? Like, you know, walking and talking. Like, it's like, come on, can we go for a walk? I just want to go for a walk, but I just want to walk and talk to you. Funny memories. Even though he was sober, my openness helped him to open up, and even though he is normally fairly wary of doing so. Nice, happy days. So around 3 a.m, everyone started to notice a subtle come down. There was no complaints of being uncomfortable, but more just returning to base level. Of the 4 who had taken the MDMA, I was the only one who had been smoking the KB, and after we started rolling. Yeah, I'm just reading through this, just kind of speed reading here, seeing if there's anything of interest. Yeah. Man, trip reports are best. Sorry, I'm going to stop reading it there because it's probably not that interesting of a story now. But trip reports are class. Apologies if you're the author of this and I just said your story is not that interesting, but honestly, you just lost me kind of. There wasn't anything fascinating. Like it lacks shrooms. Where's the shrooms? I wanted to see shrooms. There wasn't much going on there, so he said sorta. He warned me. They warned me. Candy flip is with what? Acid. Yeah, candy flipping was with acid. Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, candy flipping. Temple grower mushrooms are super easy to get here in Canada. All the online dispensaries carry them now. That's class. That's fucking class. I wish we could just legally get mushrooms here in Ireland, you know. I wish there wasn't such a taboo around it, you know. I wish we could just like, do you know the way you can kind of get like babysitters like to go out for a night's drink, and you know, imagine you could just like get babysitters. It's like, yeah, we're just gonna go off there and just go and do mushrooms for the night, you know. It's just like, yeah, no, and nobody should be like batting an eyelid about it. You know, like no issues about that. Like, it should be a totally normal thing to do. It's actually quite a healthy thing to do. In fairness, when you actually look into the benefits that there is in doing psychedelics on a kind of a an infrequent basis. Like, you know, you don't have to be doing it regularly, but certainly, you know, on an infrequent basis, there's a real benefit there to doing some psychedelics. Yeah, Paddy J saying that, Martin, stop talking, please. I'm learning too much. My head will explode. Arr. Yeah, jeez, we're 2 hours and 20 minutes into this. Like, jeez, I'm an awful waffler. I'm sorry, guys. But you're an incredibly interactive audience as well. There's so many comments coming in. Yeah. John O'Regan or John Finnegan getting in the old hippie flipping is when. Is that when you throw John O'Regan around the place? Hey. What's happening, Guru Ganja? Go at hippie tripping. Pixie stick style. Others out. Temple Grower says, I don't know who does more drugs here anymore, though. Yeah, that becomes a thing, I suppose, as you get older, isn't it? That the people who kind of use drugs and stuff like that, they become less, like, you know, like going out with the boys there before and just like, we take a bit of MD, boys. All hugging each other throughout the night. Happy days. Yeah, no, definitely, Paddy J. I was getting wary of the fact that I was just yapping a bit too much there and on that story as well. Content LL saying, my reading these treatments for depression is that when you consume these substances, they change your sensory experience, trip and knock you out of the depressed frame of mind. Yeah, that's it. Like, I've heard people saying it's just kind of like, you know, plugging it out and plugging it back in, you know, hitting that refresh button if you want. Like, you know, it's like refreshing the mind of sorts. Some people saying that it brings them back to the childlike state of mind, you know, where you find everything to be kind of almost amazing and a kind of you see the awe that there is in the world. So I've had it described in that way too, and I thought that was a very good description of it. You know, the after effects of a psychedelic experience. Hunter K says, oh man, I've been for plenty of walks, found some pretty cool places along the way. Temple Grower says, one of the few places I've donated actual money to. Nice. Erowid, yeah. Legend. Good man. Good man, yeah. Erowid, that definitely got a donation or two for myself back in the day. Again, an invaluable resource of things. Again, yeah, like yourself, one of the few places. I'll always recommend Erowid as well, you know, if you want to go learn about any substance, you know, about dosages, and even read about other people's experiences with them. Erowid is worth its fucking weight in gold, honestly. It's a treasure trove of information over there about all sorts of substances. Hey, what's happening, Tommy? Welcome to the hot box. We're about to be wrapping up here, I suppose. Well, actually, I've one more story, guys. As we still have a nice old audience out there, and the audience is growing. Let's give you another old headline that's coming out of Ireland, Irish courts. And we were talking about the CBD cases earlier today, with the relief case, but this is another one coming out of the Irish courts where an Irish solicitor or barrister told a judge that the Irish laws around cannabis, specifically to do with CBD oils, are in breach of EU rules. This case has been put back again until May 30, or sorry, not May 31st, it's May 3rd. So the case is adjourned again. So the person is out on bail. The person wasn't named in this article either, which is interesting. It did name the barrister there, Mr. Spencer. But Mr. Spencer just stated the fact that the European Court ruled that the EU laws concerning the free movement of goods precluded that national law prohibiting the marketing of CBD lawfully produced in another member state unless that legislation is appropriate for securing the attainment of the objective of protecting public health and does not go beyond what is necessary for that purpose, which currently the outright prohibition of CBD oil is doing that. It's violating that, like, you know. But this is put back until May 3rd. As I said, it's most likely going to be relief from Dungarvan, whose case in the High Court should conclude first. Hopefully, fingers crossed, and that should happen soon. So that's coming out of the Irish courts again. Another CBD case. This is involving how much cannabis is involved in this. Does it say? It doesn't say, I don't think. But it is involving cannabis oil that tested positive for THC, as that was a charge. Charged with unlawful possession for sale and supply of tetrahydrocannabinol. So there you go. Be interesting to see what happens. That's the Irish courts. In, I suppose, more positive note, a bit more of a positive note, we go over to the High Times. And again, we go to the High Times to author Sharon Letts. Sharon Letts is the author of this piece. This is another one of the higher profiles from over on High Times. And this is featuring the veterans. Pictured here is Brian Hershey-Reese and Doc Gage. So Brian Hershey-Reese on the left and Doc Gage on the right, apparently. So Brian Hershey-Reese has since, unfortunately, passed away. And it's interesting, you'll find out the story behind why Brian Hershey-Reese passed away. And this story has been, the higher profile here is about his partner here, Doc Gage. Doc Gage, as the name suggests, was a veteran combat field medic who was over in the Afghan war, supporting the US forces over there. So he's seen a lot, suffered as a result of that, as many war veterans do, because of the shit they have to put up with over there, and the environment and the situations they're put into. They do suffer from PTSD and other issues. Doing sky jumps and stuff like that. Pain can be a big issue. So as a result, like, a lot of these veterans are now using cannabis as a means to treat either their PTSD or, again, the chronic pain that they're suffering with. And again, Doc Gage shares the story of his partner here, Brian Hershey-Reese, as he unfortunately lost his life. He overdosed on opiates. He was refused help from the VA, so that's the Veterans Association, I believe it is. And why he was refused help was because he was actually using cannabis to help with his PTSD and again, other issues there. Again, people shouldn't have to justify why they're using cannabis, but most certainly they should not be discriminated against because they used cannabis. Because of the discrimination that the VA put in against this person, you know, he wasn't given the help he needed. He wasn't given access to the services provided by the VA to the veterans after they returned from war. And as a result, he died of an overdose when a friend of his gave him an oxycodone tablet. So it was very unfortunate, you know. So he shared that story, and I just wanted to touch in on that part of the article. Another kind of more uplifting part of the article is the story of these two guys while they were over in the Afghanistan. They stumbled upon, up there right in the back ass of nowhere, in between rocks, a crop of cannabis, and that's what's pictured here within the article. These were plants that they found kind of off the beaten track while out doing their missions while over there in Afghanistan. They managed to pull some of these plants up. These plants were full of seeds. As the story goes, there was some even snow on the floor around these plants. And you look at the purple there, actually. I don't know how well you can see that on the screen there. But right next to the can, you look at the purple there. That'll tell you that the cold that was probably going on in that region at that time. Like he was saying, there was snow on the floor. But these plants were laden in seeds. So this guy took some of those plants back to his base, kind of processed them over the week or two, picking the seeds out, and brought the seeds back to the US, where he went on to generate a number of different varieties, and they're kind of using them over there now to help veterans and other people's again, his buddy Reese. So his name was Brian Reese. And because his name was Reese, Reese's Pieces, he became Hershey, because they all had code names over there. So they actually developed a strain called Hershey's Kiss, I believe it was. I'm just looking for the name there now in the article. It's over in High Times, guys. If you want to go over and read this article, I'd recommend it. It's a good read. It's an interesting read. But the boys developed a few different strain names, and apparently there's a bit of a legal problem there with one of the strain names. Strains of War. Here's the part of it, actually. Strains of War. They talk about the names down here. So another cultivar proposed by is Hershey's Kiss. That's what it is. And that's their buddy. That's a little send-off to their buddy, Brian Reese. Brian Hershey's Reese. That was his code name over there when they were out in the operations. They wouldn't use their own real names. So because Reese's Pieces, Hershey's became his name. So they gave it that name as a little send-off to their buddy. But there's a kind of legal challenges ensuing there, apparently. But again, overseas, it says that, he's explaining the story. Overseas, we use call signs for safety, never a real name, so everyone had a nickname. He explained, my best buddy, an Army Ranger, was Brian Reese, so Reese's Pieces became Hershey's. And he tells the story then of Reese here. He says, as Amsler, he tells the story, once home, Reese was turned away by the VA because of his cannabis use. He suffered from back and knee pain from the many airplane jumps, and without insurance or support from the VA, he died of suffocation from an allergic reaction to an oxycodone pill a friend had given him. He said, it has been my sole mission to release a cultivar that I believe might have been a life-saving alternative to his condition, both physically and mentally. And this is the reason I've come this far and why I believe I'm still alive. Brian's cultivar will be his legacy. And that's a picture of the doc, the doc in his army gear. Grenades, freaking machine guns, crazy. So go over and check that out again. As I said, it's written by Sharon Letts, great author, great writer, and a great story being told there about that. Again, an interesting one on this story as well, and not to be negative in any way or anything like that, but it's a topic of conversation. It's just like this guy was over in a war-torn region. There's cannabis cultivars over there that have been present in that region that might have been already worked with by the locals who've been working on it for millennia, and they don't get no homage, they don't get no any what's the word, any reward for the work that was put in there. There's going to be people come in and war times that they take these genetic profiles out of there, and they generate their own cultivars then over in the US and Holland or wherever. And they don't really pay back to the places where these strains actually came from, So we had a topic back in Herbal Science, actually. It was about, what's the word? Ethical, ethics, biobotanical ethics. Shit, what was the module? Bollocks, I can't think of it now. But it was the ethics around biobotanicals, because you look at Pfizer's, you look at Johnson & Johnson, any of these big pharmaceutical companies, okay? A lot of these pharmaceutical companies have gone into areas where traditionally such and such a plant would have been used traditionally to treat such a condition. they go in there, they examine this, they take the plant, they examine that they find out, all right, it's this compound, we'll synthesize that, or we might even just have to extract it from the plant if they can't synthesize it. But then they just take that knowledge out of there, they take that traditional knowledge, they hijack it to their own purposes, and then they release a product in the market and they make millions from it, you know. It's a big problem, you know, and it goes on within cannabis, but it's ever more prevalent within cannabis because of the lack of an industry there. You have like all the Lebanese hash, you like think of the strains, the genetics, the cultivars that are there in Lebanon, like all the Moroccan stuff, you know, all the African stuff, all the like any, you know, any places, Thailand, you know, you've all the native stuff to there, and it's now getting ruined because of the prohibition, because there's no control over it, like, and there could be genetics there that could be forever lost because of this problem, you know. There's no, like, Australia do a great job protecting their borders, you know. But we be doing that as well around cannabis. We could lose traits from cannabis that might be very difficult to return to cannabis, like, you know. So I don't know. It was just something that we talked about for fucking 6 months, an entire module on, and I can't even remember the name of the module. But it was something about ethics in botanical, it's biobotanical ethics or something. Hey, what's happening, Greenbeard? You're just coming in at the back end of the show anyway, Greenbeard. We're just kind of saying our goodbyes, just about to wind down. I've waffled on for too long. It's 7 o'clock. I have to go down there and spend the rest of the evening loving her up and all of that stuff. But it's been an absolute pleasure, guys. It's been an enjoyable 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 35 minutes actually. Enjoyed every second of it. But we're busting. Forgot to Luan Vulcarum Dulgreen letters there, guys. What you say? I have to have one more bowl before I can go to the toilet. Alright, so. One more bowl. But yeah, wouldn't it be so fucking cool, man? Somebody was saying it to me there. It was GB. GB was talking about some lads there, and I don't want to mention any names, but he was talking about some lads around Ireland who have been working with the same strain for the last number of years, their own strain that they kind of have been developing themselves. Now, I don't know what kind of work and effort they put into developing it, like, you know, but again, it'd be interesting to see, you know, what kind of, what we could be doing. What we could be getting, like, if we were able to get like proper genetics coming out of places where the land races actually are, the places like Morocco, Africa, again, you know, to Thailand. Ooh. GB says always the same, Artie. I missed the good shit. Yeah, sorry, I got a bit taken back today. I didn't get the show properly prepared, so today has been a highly interactive show, to be fair. I've had a couple of news pieces there that were lined up. I had two kind of Valentine's Day related stuff. We kind of revisited the proposal there from Mr. Fudge, from the protest there. You were present from that. I seen you there in the background, GB, of the video. Hooting away. But yeah, we revisited that, and then we went out and had a look at Billy Caldwell. His man put up a post there as well. So some Valentine's Day stuff there earlier today. A bird never flew on one wing, Martin. Not in a straight line anyway. Content NL. So because of one isolated negative case that involved a death or natural God-given remedies were illegal. Yep. Yeah. Are you talking about mushrooms? Are we talking about mushrooms there in that regard? Because I think that's what happened here in Ireland. Like, you were able to legally buy mushrooms from places like the Funky Skunk and some of the other places, I think, like above in Dublin. And one guy jumped out the window, and all of a sudden it's just like, oh, we have to ban these things. It's just like, hang on a second now, like, this guy shouldn't have been bloody doing mushrooms in an upstairs apartment where he had access to a bloody window that he could jump out so easily. Like, that's called a bad setting, like, you know. Let that guy go outside and let him try to be Superman, you know, from the field, like, you know, from the ground level. uh, but yeah, if it was mushrooms you were talking about, yeah, that's what happened there with that. Yeah, it was the mushrooms thing. And just looking back up there now, I see yourself, Scatnist, and Casa having an old convo about the mushroom saga that happened back there. Absolute joke, like, absolute joke. They'll think I'll make some mushroom truffles with the girlfriend for the day that's in it later. Later, skaters. Nice. Do you know what, no, Casa, man? I would actually love to do something like that myself as well, man. That would be an epic way to spend the Valentine's Day. The work and the sitters, though. I'm not talking about trip sitters. Babysitters. Plenty of volunteers, alright. There was no shortage of 'em. GB says, it was a great day, so it was. Has the date been set for the big day, the fudgy and the old lady? No date set as of yet, but there's been talks about it anyway. They're talking about it. Talking about 420 possibly, but I don't think he was talking about 420 this year, but I don't know, I could be mistaken. Unless he was doing it by the piece of paper, I think he was saying. And yes, Casa, man, happy tripping, dude. And hopefully yourself and Wichi have a beautiful evening, dude. I'm sure you've spoiled each other, maybe romancing her up. You know, the old rose petals everywhere, huh? Love is in the air. Scatness says he was with friends, and from the one article I'd read, they'd ignored a lot of the important rules of using psychedelics. Yeah, exactly, Scatness. Like, that guy died from improper education. Do you know, the use of a substance without proper education before using the substance. And also a situation where maybe because of prohibition, that was the only environment in which they actually could consume them, in which they felt safe, you know, because it was away from prying eyes. And that's a problem as well, you know, because you should have spaces where you should be able to go and consume psychedelics safely and not be worried about people looking at you. But yeah, prohibition has a lot to say about that anyway. Like, that's what happens now because of, like, you know, the prohibition. You know, people are back to getting their psychedelics from the dark web and stuff like that, are going out picking them themselves and at danger of picking the wrong mushroom. Right, let's blaze up one more bowl there with you guys. As I really don't think I could hold out for the next 420, which is only 17 minutes away. Guys and gals, it's been an absolute blast. Maggie, Fudge, thanks for the calls. Anybody else as well, you know, who's commented, who's shared, liked the stream and all of that fun stuff as well, guys. Absolute legends. Thanks very much for supporting the show. I've actually enjoyed every second. So 2 hours 44 minutes exactly. We've been streaming here this evening, and it's been a great crack. It's been a great crack. Long may it continue. Just a quick reminder before we do go, 23rd of March, guys, stick that in your calendar. That's the next day out. For myself down in Dungarvan, I'm inviting the people to come down at 10 o'clock as we do a protest. We can start at the Garda station, I suppose, and we can march our way up to the courts. So I intend to start at the Garda station, which is at one side of the town, and we'll march right through the town to the courts for the opening of the courts. But it should be a fun one. I also intend to go into the guard station as well on the day, so we'll do something around that. Hope I can get some volunteers to join me as well, but I'll announce more as we get closer to the date. 23rd of March, guys. Be there, or be somewhere else. Nice one, TG. Thanks very much, man. I really appreciate it. It's good to have yourself, Greenbeard, out there in the audience. TG, I'm not forgetting, man. I've been really intending to get a follow up with yourself. I know you've agreed to come on and be a guest on the show, and I'll be incredibly honoured to have you. So we will follow up on that as well very soon. We're going to have a chat with Billy on Wednesday, but I'm sure myself and yourself can work out a date and time there, TG. I'd like to get yourself as well, GB, separately, on your own, just a complete Irish perspective on growing, hiding, and all of that kind of stuff. I'd love to have a chat if you would do me the honour of that too someday. So, nice one, Hunter. Great stream today as always, Martin. Hope everyone has a great evening, day. Stay blazed. Yes, nice one. Yes, and we'll say bye on that one. So guys, much love, blessings to you all, guys. Stay blazed out there, and keep her lit. Peace. Bye bye. I really got to run to the bathroom.